Hello, guys. Can you hear us? Hello.
Hello.
Well. Look who is back on the A.W.O.L streaming channel, AQZ. Woo-hoo! Now, guys, jokes aside, welcome to the A.W.O.L, I would say, it's the ninth week. Yeah, I guess it's right. Welcome, guys. Welcome back.
Yeah.
My name is Paandyandy, and as you can see, I'm not alone today. With me, it's Runefolk, going on a streak for the A.W.O.L, continuing the streak. How are you doing?
Yeah, you're super quiet for me right now.
Ooh.
I'm not sure if it's better on the stream, but for me, I can't hear you as well as usually. But yeah, I'm also here once again.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's the 4th tournament in a row that I'm now commentating. So yeah, great to be here.
Awesome. And I would say first blue. Yeah, that's right. So whoever joined in, and actually don't watch the AMA right now. Thank you so much. Because we both also just like watched until we started here. Hello, DJ Payne. And yeah, I just want to say to refresh, we still got 3 minutes left. So again, over 100 player will play on the today's hour. I don't know if we will hit the record of 165 players like from last week, but 150 players still. And compared
Your
to
mic
last
is still
week,
cutting out a bit for me. I'm not sure if it's.
I'm cutting out. Oh man, it's not cool.
You're super quiet and so sometimes the words are.
What
I'm
is
not sure.
that? What is the reason for that? Hold on.
Maybe the chat can
Oh,
say if it's the same for you.
somehow I turned down the volume of my microphone. Now you
Okay,
should
yeah.
hear me better, right?
Yeah, now it's better, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hopefully not too loud. Okay, somehow it just like changed, but hey guys, you can hear me now. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Penny. If you didn't hear that, no, just kidding. 115 players. I mean, compared to last week, it's like way less, but in general, hitting almost every week over 100 players for the tournament. That's awesome, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
I liked I liked it a bit more that you had to rush in to get your spots, and it wasn't safe that you're getting in, because then players were kind of forced to sign up earlier. And I think today there was like 2 or 3 hours before the event started, there were like only 70 players signed up, and I think that made me think that there's maybe not even the 100 player mark being hit today, but we got that already, and 118 by now, so it's sadly not even the 128 caps yet. And yeah, but we still got a lot of players, so that's still quite exciting.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, I would say it's quite still awesome, but I would say it's like the general things of more and more players getting qualified for the hour. So because there's like guys, it's like actually a large amount of players that actually playing. So I think it's okay. Maybe some others said, okay, I want to watch just like in PC AMA and stuff like that. But in general, it's like awesome seeing that almost every European hosted tournament getting this large numbers. Yeah, it's like amazing, great to see. Because there was actually like a question in the AMA if like online tournaments should like stop, like for example with the adventure pass and stuff like that. And I would say with those numbers, it would be not cool if this need to stop immediately, because I would say of those 180 players, there are like still enough players that don't even have like a local store in the near of the next like 100 kilometers or stuff like that to actually just like play. But anyway,
where else
so
do you have? And where else do you have the chance to weekly play with up to 100 players? And so that's very exciting.
Yeah, that's true. So maybe I would just like start to posting that we start to stream. So maybe we see it.
Maybe.
Yeah, guys. Beside that, the tournament start, and also it's like that we're actually we're being here together for 7 rounds. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Longest time.
Yeah. the second week now in a row for me, getting these 7 rounds. So yeah. Do you have anyone you're excited to watch out for? I had after you Magonics that I wanted to watch, but I think they didn't show up. So sadly no
I
games.
would
from
say,
them.
if we have the chance. Oh, that's actually funny because there are like new players I never heard of before. It's table 3 actually. Bota against Lei Fi, or just like player names that I don't
Yeah.
recognize. We can jump in. Oh, hi guys. Somehow I forgot to. Yeah, no problem, guys. No problem, guys. As you know, let's go. Okay, we can go in. And at least Rune can keep us hostage again like last week. Yeah, let's talk about this, guys. So basically, I just want to say that I'm totally into it, staying like around 4 or more hours in a stream, because somewhere one of my teammates, I don't want to say the name, maybe it was Rune, maybe it was someone else, just played hostage on the last match for our AQZ Championship Series. I mean, it's okay. It's okay.
It was a fun match, I'd say.
I was like totally sure at one point, because there were like some cards that got 2 mana zone from the opponent, and I was like, if this third card would also be like in the mana zone, then this game would be like a completely loop forever, almost like like that. So the game started, and we will actually see a Buta. Oh, I'm sorry, it's Kojo. Buta resist, yeah. It will be a Kojo against an Sigisma. That's awesome. One of the old matchups. Back to
Oh, I now realized why you said Buta, because the Sigisma is called Buta.
Yeah.
That is quite funny. And interestingly here, the Sigisma is contesting that hero expedition. I would have thought that they maybe want to go companion side with when they have another character they can play from hand, that they have the chance to maybe go 1-for-1 safely. But yeah, this now.
Yeah,
They
that's
already
right.
have to commit a teamwork training to not go down on expeditions, and I don't really like that, having to commit resources that early, going down one whole card from hand, and the Kojo will next turn just get the draw out of their Serengar. So this is definitely a good start for the Kojo, just going up in
Yeah,
resources already.
totally. It's also being like, with the front row mechanic left now, there's like a positive chance, like 2 chances for our Kojo right now. Take a look, that is like either there would be like at some point, because of the magical training, it could be actually either like a free cost card is actually being left in hand, or it could be actually already like a Crown and the World. It's just like being headed because of the front row
Yeah.
mechanic. I mean, it's one of the coolest things to play out. So this would be like
Very
a cool
cool card,
spot.
yeah.
Yeah, and also it's like being nice expeditions in general for our culture, being on the companion side for the plant region with the Haven Seringa, and it's also been like the Eastern Bershi for like the hero expedition, where our Sigisma right now just like sitting there on the water type. And for the expedition, as you can see, the front row mechanic will be put it out, and it will be actually the monolith bastion that I didn't think that totally forget that you also can play that in the deck really well.
From my experience, this still heavily favors the Kojo, because they get a free double advance. And look at the cards that the Sigisma has at this point. There's only one card, and they basically, to have some sort of cards in their hand, they need to stop manaing on probably 5 mana already. And I think stopping on 5 mana limits your plays quite a lot. And this, I mean, the Monolith is still a threatening card, but it's not as threatening when you're that low on cards.
That is true. I would say like the only thing that is being like nice right now is like even like on 5 mana, or if you're staying like on 5 mana, or also being like a little bit earlier on that, it's still the case that because of the monolith, there could be possibly still played out like 1 to 2 cards like. But it seems like pretty good for our coach, because now our coach could just like focus on one expedition. Also like for the upcoming turn, But I would say there's still a chance for the Sigisma. Because at 6 mana would be enough. Because if you're not running, there are like not that many cards on like 3 cost as characters that you're actually running on the list. If it's like not uniques like there are 2. So it's almost like the chance that you can play out 2 to 3 cards like every turn, even on 6 mana. But maybe it's like it's being like not good. Or we're seeing like an Orders Trooper at the cost of 1.
Yeah, that is a powerful Orders Trooper. That is pretty buffed up. And I just took a look at the uniques for both of these decks. And
Oh,
the
how did you do that?
Kojo is running some card advantage cards with Ratatosk that draws, a Tanuki that sabotages and removes fleeting, and there's surprisingly I think that's just a rare council in the deck that is just blocking the on-play abilities from characters in the opposite expedition. That is quite interesting. And what would you expect the Sigisma uniques to be?
Could be 2 things, like 3 things. I always said the 2 most played options, so it would be either like token spammers.
Yeah.
Then
there's 1 token spammer on the deck.
1 token
And
spammer.
that one is quite nice.
Then I would say there is like either a card that puts something to sleep or drawing a card.
Yeah, there's one that's putting something to sleep. Yeah, it's on play.
And then there is a card that's boosting something up, like a big charge or something like that.
No, but quite close. This one, the last one, is an Athena. That's quite interesting, and it loses fleeting from reserve, but it requires 2 landmarks to be played. So I don't think it will actually be played for the from reserve ability, but it is creating 2 tokens in each of your expeditions, and together with the monolith, that is a lot of stats for a 4-cost Athena from hand. So yeah, there's quite the open the gates potential for the Sigisma here. And interestingly, the Sigisma got a 2/4 this day by just playing a Sandman and a Orders Trooper.
Yeah.
Was the sleep effect even used from this Sandman?
No.
You can pass the sleep effect? I didn't know that.
I don't know if you can do it like in real life, because I thought that you need to do it up to 1 character. It sounds for me like you need to do it. Maybe you could just like pass it on Board Games Arena.
Yeah, but it doesn't say May, so it should be always be asleep. But yeah.
Oh,
the token spam. And this one is a one cost, so pretty nice. And yeah. Especially together with the Monolith Bastion. And actually now, even though being that low on cards and already having passed up on mana, the Sigisma is still in a quite winning position at this point, just because of this Monolith and all the recruits that are getting buffed up from that card.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what I also think like it's awesome about it, because it reminds me of one of my Orders cards that I've got as uniques. And I actually traded one of those today with Franny Rico for his Thespians, because I got into Muna.
Oh.
And I've got access to the POD, so I can print out my cards. So
you've got access to the print on demand?
Tomorrow I should be, yeah.
Oh, so you already got the mail for that?
I've got the mail like for Moon specifically, that I can create content and stuff like that with that. I don't know when I would do it.
Okay. That is quite cool.
Yeah, I don't have YouTube, guys, so I don't know when I do it. But I could do it, and then I have the potential chance for doing it. It would be awesome.
That is amazing, yeah.
The first thing that I want to do is actually doing print on demand. It's like the only thing that I need for 2 months. I'm honest. So, that seems big.
So you can also print for some of your teammates, maybe?
I could, yeah.
Uniques?
I could.
You could? That is
uniques. I could, yeah.
I mean, can you also just mass print some of the uniques some of our teammates have, like spindle harvesters?
I could, yeah. I could.
I think we won't abuse that in our team as well. No. No.
I mean, the problem was like last time that you need to have like a credit card for getting money on your wallet. And I don't have one, and also like after I heard there were like 6% failures between those trades. I was also actually happy that I didn't put my credit card accountability on that. So I hope there will be PayPal tomorrow.
Yeah.
I hope, because otherwise then we cannot use it. Or maybe I ask someone that has a credit card and then they will print it from us. But I'm so excited. Yeah, guys, I would say for now on, it seems quite good for our it was seems looking good for our Sigisma, but now the monolith is just like put away, and I would say that could be maybe like a turning for our Kojo right now.
I mean, this now is the Kojo is actually still ahead in cards and also ahead 1 mana, but the Sigisma is up 2 expeditions by now, and getting that back could be quite hard. But there's a unique deck in the reserve for this Kojo, and this one is boosting up a bunch of characters, but yeah, one more character from Sigisma, and it should be a 1-for-2 trade. So Sigisma should go on to game point, and yeah, so it still looks quite good for them.
That's true. I would say for now. But actually, with 2 mana, that should just be like any 2-cost card from Sigisma. Could be played out on the hero side, creating a token on the companion side, and the Sigisma were getting it, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for taking your illusion that our Kojo can come back, but through the token spammer, it's actually just like 1 2-cost card. But it seems that
the token spammer only puts in its own expedition, so
no. Right? Really?
Yeah.
It's not a good. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. Why? Oh man, I thought it was like almost the perfect token spammer, like 1/1 and then target expeditioner. That would be crazy.
But any 2-cost also wouldn't have done it for them. I mean, the 2-cost was not outstanding the 7/7. I think. Right?
No, it was like you got like 5/7/7.
Oh, it was winning on forest then. Maybe.
Yeah, you could like win on the forest and then put another additional card to the companion for the frog. So I was like, yeah, okay, it could be, but it wasn't. So I'm sorry, guys, but when I see like uniques, it could be like my uniques, and then I'm like, okay, yeah, this could be, but I actually forgot to read the effect.
Now it's interesting if the Sigisma now manas, because if they kind of have to mana this turn, but then they can always just play 3 cards this turn, most likely. Even if they don't mana here, they can play 1-cost, 1-cost, 2-cost. They could actually play 3 1-costs plus a 2-cost if their hand allows it, but yeah, now this turn, still the Sigisma probably be being forced to play 3 cards now, and they are opening players, so the Kojo can pretty much always react to what the Sigisma is planning here. And yeah, this could be a tough turn, and most likely be the final turn.
Yeah, that's true. And as we can see, the Tiny Chin Ruby played out on the companion side, now got 5 mana left, and this is like can play anything at the Sigisma. I would say at that point, if there like a 2-cost is left, and it would be the monolith guild for sure. So I would say like with 6 mana, still Kojo could do like a lot of stuff, and as we can see right now, it still could be like being possible to just like getting double expeditions and maybe going into the Tiebreaker. Depends on what Sigisma got left as the last card. Would it be like another Sandman? Then it would be actually hard. If it would be like just like another Baba Yaga or stuff like that, then it could be just like easily possible, because maybe there are like 3 characters down there, but at the end, still like not that many stats directly to defending at least the mountain type for now. But our Sigisma now, no, our Kojo is on the turn. Yeah,
and I think one of the best cards now for the Kojo could be a Mighty Djinn, but since it's contesting quite well into the expeditions that the Kojo is on. But as you mentioned, if there's a Sandman available to the
it will be a
Sigisma,
Twinkle, alright.
this could just be very good for the Sigisma if the Mighty Djinn was played first. But yeah, we do see that Twinkle Twinkle and a second Rathatos can make this game.
It's
It's kind of funny that both are playing that.
That's crazy. That's the sleeping unique. And if you have less than
Yeah.
8 mana ops characters, you control gain 1 boost. I would say the coolest condition that you get if you're like not willing to pay like 900 euros for just like auto spammers or anything else for auto cards is this condition with less than 8 mana ops, because there's like someone told me if I was talking with him which card you can put into the thing. And then we're both like talking about it, and we see another round that's amazing with the Twinkle Twinkle. He was also like, yeah, this condition, if you need to be going on 8 mana as a Sigisma, then you can already say GG at some certain point. Because there's like actually, there are like reasons, of course, for doing that, but like most of the times, you can stick to 6 to 7 mana, because if you're going any further than that, or your opponent is being able to going any further than that, and then it's quite hard for you to actually, then maybe we can talk about that Sigisma is not the strongest OP easy deck that you can play right now. Okay, then I would agree on that point.
Okay.
But right now, okay, we see the Buddha would be played out, and then the Haven Seringa again on the hero side. And our coach has still got 2 mana left, and the Rathatos Aya got put to sleep, and here we go, the Baba Yaga will be played out.
Probably at this point one of the best cards for the Sigisma. Going into Tiebreaker, the Sigisma probably has to discard a lot of cards from their reserve, and that Baba Yaga allowing them to just redraw cards and go with a bigger hand into the Tiebreaker is definitely a good thing for them. And the Kojo at this point now committing to the hero side and giving fleeting to their own character to boost up that Buddha and not already boost up that Tiny Djinn to ramp it, since they most likely want to replay it on the following turn. But maybe the ramp onto their Tiny Djinn could have been better depending on the last card that's in their hand, to just be able to play that out instead of the Tiny Djinn for next turn and potentially ramp into 2 cards that you could play out on the following day together with your reserve. But yeah, that Sigisma now also contesting harder on that hero side, and yeah, that allows the easy pass for the Kojo, and the Sigisma now has to discard the 2 cards from the reserve.
That's actually
I would
hard.
imagine them keeping their unique Rathatos to sleep, put something to sleep again, and also just buff up the entire board.
Yes. It could be like either, yeah, as you said, it would be the Rathatos, and then maybe like the Autos Trooper to keeping out the next cards, or maybe like the next 2 cards you could like Mana Ring one, and then, oh, okay. Decides to pull out the Baba Yaga and the Rathatos, but let's see, maybe there's like a last hand card and another Autos Trooper or Foundry Mechanic, so knowing, okay, I have a 1 card still, like 1 mana card still left in hand, so
yeah, probably also any 2-cost card for the Sigisma is now quite valuable.
Yeah, that's
awesome. Just play out 3 cards, but this seems quite telegraphed from the Sigisma that the Kojo knows how many turns they have to pass or slow play until that valuable sleep can come out, and yeah, also Sigisma going first here, that allows the Kojo to probably just slow play enough to make that sleep irrelevant. So maybe Sigisma just accounts for that and wants to play out cards from hand instead of that Rathatos. But yeah, let's see how this Tiebreaker now plays out.
Yeah, that's true. And now is starting, and we will see. Oh, we will see the Auto Spy. Okay, it's actually good, because I was like thinking of the point, even if like the Rathatos would be able to put something to sleep, there would be like strongly 2 boosted characters already on board. So compared, like also like if you take a look on the hand castle being net, But then I just like remember that also the rudder cost is giving like an additional boost. Also like so like you're putting something to sleep, you're getting like a 1 boost on each card. So it would be for that moment then that you're getting already like 3 stats again. That's like actually the best thing that you can do for a tiebreaker. And we see a second Taven. Okay, that's crazy.
I really like that for the Kojo
Yeah.
here.
And if there's like no 1-cost card right now in hand, then woo, this seems like not good for our Sigisma right now, because I would say it should be now.
The Sigisma now can't play if there's no 1-cost, the Sigisma can't play the Rudder Tusk this turn, because I'd say up to from the text that the Rudder Tusk reads, they have to put something to sleep. And in Tiebreaker, that is you never want to put something from yourself asleep. So yeah.
So let's see what this will be the case. And I just wanted to ask if you can read our general chat.
Yeah, I just heard the messages and was opening it up.
Guys, at a certain point we can just like we can say what we are like sharing as teams. And this is kind of funny because from the how can I say that? Maybe no, I don't want to give you like a completely like hole in your head. If you would like watched a certain video about a certain like talk with a certain answer, then this would be like probably funny. But if not, then it's not that funny. But if yes, then it would be like really funny. And it's also funny that our coach is just like getting the game. And again, not need to sleep something, but I'm sure that you need to put something.
Yeah, maybe... and from my knowledge, it's that way too. But it's kind of interesting.
Okay.
It's a must not may effect, so that is quite confusing to me. But maybe I just misunderstand the ruling here. But yeah.
But anyway, GG to our Kojo.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So we still got like time for some like it's like actually not that many tables are left for being playing. So if you want, we can jump to another one and then going to round 2 if you want to. But I'm not. Do you have a table in mind?
Oh, let's go to table 19. Kai4 against
Oh, German Bear. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. It's actually awesome because there's like a certain chance BKXA is bootcamp Ordered, or like the bigger team is called only bootcamp. It's funny because actually there will be like one of those teammates will be in Leipzig on a big conventional, and there's like a chance that I would join to it if I have like time for it, and then we will meet each other. It will be really funny. And can play some nice other local matches. And right now we will see is Sierra playing against the Fan.
I really like the board state that Sierra currently seems to have put on work in the early game, and is up 3 expeditions at this point. And there's a Axiom processor in play for the Sierra, so that's already an amazing list.
Yes, it's quite awesome, and it's also awesome because always activating just like the abilities, we'll be getting much more through the entire deck. So alone the mechanical training and also the Inari could just like activating the Axiom Reprogressor, or also just like the Ouroboros if wants to, and just like 1 expedition ahead, and we will see an awesome unique when a card goes from your hand or deck to reserve, create a press bug. Oh no.
Okay, I think I know why we see this Sierra being here on top, and that's one of the cards that is also played by Pobiet, a well-known trace player at this point, I'd say. And this Moth Lava is looking to do the exact same, that whenever the Sierra here resupplies with one of their support abilities, they're just getting a free token into their hero expedition. This one is sadly not a target expedition, but still a expedition that you can choose. So still pretty good. But of course, there is that off you go for the fan, and that is looking to to send the lava to reserve, but it can easily just be played out again, and then the Sierra can just put up a lot of moths onto that hero side, and the fan can't really contest that anymore. And yeah, that's looking to be the game, sort of.
Yeah, it's actually true, and it's been like a nice thing because those uniques also like compared to the uniques that, for example, like one of our own teammates, Freeloader, is playing with these. Every time something goes to the reserve or leaves the reserve, then you're getting a boost. I think it's a nice addition. Sounds like the Haven Bastion, like for Trace, put it away, but now for here it's also like being amazing for Sierra. Always getting like a press bug. I mean, it's all about the deck to getting like those little robots in action. So GG to Kaifo there, captain of the team Kra. So I would say, because this game also took like maybe we can go to the second round. It seems not like that. So my question is, you watched the AMA, right? So for all those for you that joined in the AMA roster today, what was your spiciest topic that Red talked about when you watched it?
The one most memorable to me was someone asked about that online tournaments are able to put out adventure pass progressions, and the answer to that was basically, well, if the tournament is sponsored together or works together with a local store, they can do that, and otherwise it wouldn't be allowed. But yeah, for our AQZ tournaments, we are luckily able to do that, and I think probably that question was based on our AQZ championships, but because I haven't seen other tournaments yet to
can continue talking
to give out adventure pass progressions, but maybe there are already some other that do that. But yeah, that's
I don't know it actually, because
exciting that we are able for our AQZs.
Yeah, I'm also excited, and of course, because like we're giving out the opportunity for the adventure pass, and also it's like the local store where I'm playing, and I know like the local store owner that's like sponsoring us, that we have like, or like I have like a different opinion about it, because the player or like the channel that typed this question in was also like already typed those questions in like the official auto Discord. And yeah, so like at that case, as always, I was also like happy that he asked the question again on the AMA, so that like also like Eric and the other game designer, I forgot the name, I just like remember Eric because I'm so sorry, but I forgot the other name. I'm so sorry. Maybe I can find. Yeah, I can. Wait, Rice, no one. Charles. Yeah, Charles. It was Charles. I was talking. I was. Anyway, guys. So Charles and Eric have the chance to talk something about it, because I'm always like in the opinion, as long as like the local play could not be like the main focus for most of our players, because there are like some players that needs to travel like a long time to actually get those adventure points, then it's completely fine, because this opinion or like mindset of you're destroying the local play is like actually not the case, in my opinion, because we're like not in France. We don't have like 200 local stores like next to our doors to getting opened, and then you can just like play. So if I'm going to my local store, I'm happy if there would be around 8 people. Sometimes we're only like 2 to 3 people and just like playing. It's still amazing, but you just like need to check out which abilities like other players have outside of France. I'm like actually honest, like all the French players needs to check what outside of France actually happening, and that's like that most of the locals have enough card games that running well, so they don't need to actually get into auto red, even it's like the best TCG right now, like in my opinion. It could be like better TCGs, of course, but so as long as this happens, and they also said if there would be like a reason to not do it anymore, and for me it would be the reason if we're getting like also 20 people in our local store that like playing regularly, and everyone could do that like in their own city, then of course it would be also completely fine for me if we don't allow to actually giving out the adventure pass. But for right now, it's just like the case that people that actually never ever get any points of that finally getting some points. And talking about some points, round 2 already started, so I talked too long. I'm so sorry, guys, but it was was important. So you can choose. You can choose. Yeah.
I can choose. Okay. Well,
many tables. I know.
Do you want to go with AQZ bias and go to Freeloader against Victor Mada?
Oh yeah, actually yeah. I like it. Team battle and Freeloader. What is he
Yeah.
playing? He's playing Lindy. I don't believe that.
Oh,
no.
That is exciting.
So guys, here's like a side info of AQC. Everyone is playing Lindy now. I don't know why. I actually don't know why, but
We just enjoy it.
Yeah, it's just like an enjoyment, but it's okay. So no, I'm actually hyped that he's playing it on the Arrow today. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Would you also play today with Lindy if you would play the Arrow instead of casting?
Probably not.
You would play Afanas
I
or Hostage?
I think if the next time I would play no unique championships, I would go onto Akasha, because last week there was an Akasha player that I absolutely loved, and yes, so I would try that myself.
Yes.
But I'm not sure. I'd probably be on Afanas because I want to try it again and try it again against good players. I think I played it last week on Wednesdays, and I lost twice against Sigisma and was quite upset about that. But here at this point, you do see a token spammer that was slapped with a Sandman, and that is quite solid for the Sigisma here, getting that additional value out of the token generator. But yeah, the Linderway here gets still the one for one progressions using that Baba's Ispa here, and getting that online early for a Linderway is always good, and that's pretty much what you want in the early game.
Yeah, that's true. And so being able to getting even on that, and just like to take a look on this front row mechanic, also like for more characters, token in my expeditioner at the cost for 1/2, still amazing. Also just like reducing the cost of the next permanent, so being like, I would say, a nice replacement for the rare version. In that case, even it would like cost 1 or more mana, because usually it's like a card that take as a rare, but getting like a little bit placed for another rares. So that's been amazing. And with the combination of the Sandbin, getting it finally again, and I would say it's looking actually really good for our Sigisma at this spot. But I don't have like any clue how Lindy like is working. So is there like, what chances are like for like at this turn, like for 5 mana to actually face against Sigisma? What are like the chances for our Lindy now to get like one of those expeditions?
Well, you'd probably have to play around Moth Lantern at this point, and to really make use out of Moth Lantern this turn, you'd also have to have a Jelly go alongside it. But you're already on pretty weak stats this turn, and you also have to pay 1 mana extra for your Maw this turn. So even if you have your Moth Lantern plus Jelly this turn, it's you still can't really pay all the mana to play out your Jelly try. Wait, you can actually play a Jelly twice and still hero power. So yeah, that would be a play that you could make. And also you can just say, well, this turn I am likely not gonna win, so I'll just set up. And this Chrysalis could still contest that hero side, so the Sigisma kind of has to react. But this could also just be a setup play for the Linderer here, to just say, well, I'll give you the double advance this turn, but therefore I'll already start next turn with that Moth in play and can threaten to play out my Chrysalis again. And yeah, that's kind of the best thing for setup wise that the Linderway can do here. But yeah, that Baba Yaga here from the Sigisma not really costing them even resources this turn to just solidify their win on that hero side, and also getting the additional token on that companion side. It's looking like a 2-0 for the Sigisma here.
That's amazing. Mm. Mm.
We already got the eating on our A.W.O.L cast, so
Guys, I'm
that's
so
early on.
sorry. It's been like a long day and 7 rounds. I'm so happy to be here, to sit here. But those timers getting up and up. It's like actually being long, but tomorrow I will start like my the aim rate was 6, so I convert to and is it oh Keelan. Well, welcome first, but that's sad. But
Yeah, that's
why are you doing that? You're living in Switzerland, so why? Is my question. But anyway, I mean, you can rewatch it. So my question got answered. Rewatching it. So, but going back to the game state, is it like that? Oh yeah, it's true. Like the Ma would possibly just like outsetting it. Oh no, it's like it's defending it. I'm sorry, guys. It's just like defending it, and for the next turn there will be already like a mana morph.
Yeah, this could have also been winning, but yeah, deciding to what? Sacrifice the recruit from the mobile armory, so you get to play your Chrysalis again next turn. Yeah, this is looking okay, and now Lindray can look to maybe double progress, but into this token spammer that's already a 3/3/2. Yeah. It's still looking hard, but now getting the progression on that hero side looks a bit easier for the Lindray, with already having that moth set up and also playing out the Chrysalis here. You don't even need to sacrifice it this turn, because you're not blocking yourself, because that mobile armory is basically preventing that defender from the Chrysalis this turn, and we already see a second unique out for Victor Mada here, and this is a token generator, and it's creating 2 tokens when anything is played, and also drawing a card when it's played from hand. So it's rather anti-synergistic, but of course, if you're able to sleep something before, and if it's a token generator, you can first play to get the additional draw. So I'm looking to just take that double expedition again. So going up 3 already. And this is looking tough now for the Lindray.
I was scared at you getting off because your camera started to freeze. I don't know if it was like my problem or it was like because of your camera, but it's okay. You're still being here. Yeah, and talking about it, like this unique is like actually so crazy with this. Like in my own expedition, like double spammers. And play at one CRR route. Yeah, that's true, but it was also just like the combination of like the Sandman putting the Foundry mechanic to sleep, then afterwards the Monolith rune is joining in. And it's also like almost being completely perfect for our Sigisma, because the Baba Yaga would be played out from the reserve, so those both beauties would just like go back to the reserve for the upcoming turn. But it's still like the case that our Lindy, aka Freeloader, still got like 3 mana left, still being able to get like the Ma, but I would say at this point,
the play that I like here the most probably is just for the Lindray, tap your hero and sacrifice your Ma, just threaten that you still can play something from your hand and outstat on that hero side. But sadly, the Freeloader isn't using that threat of blocking or advancing, and now gets the additional Foundry mechanic. But he didn't really need to commit that resource, and could have just after you with their hero ability and that more, maybe not quite used to the Lindray play patterns, because I think there was no chance they could ever contest that hero side. So just stalling out this turn would have maybe been better. But yeah, we do see that Moth Lantern together, and this way they can still get the 1-for-1 just because of the they actually get a 2-for-1. Oh no, they can now he can get sacrifices more, so it's still 1-for-1, and Freeloader is just the better player. And yeah, that looked kind of good for the Linderway, but that was very resource intense. And the Linderway now down to 2 cards that they only have in reserve. And
It's true.
yeah.
And it's being like also like all those 3 cards, like of course like the Magic Triangle put away. It's like even if the Sigisma needs to just like remove also 1 card to the reserve, it's like not hurting that much, because with the addition of like 6 mana, putting like an additional 1 right in there, it would be just like both of the token spammers getting in play if there's like not any sabotage like left for Freeloader right now. And afterwards just like spamming out more and more characters on the board. So starting off with the Osma, I would say continuing with the Foundry mechanic, getting additional 2 costs in.
Yeah.
Continuing with that, I would say they're like, it's like pretty tough right now for our Freeloader here. I mean,
Yeah,
at the end, it's
it
another
kind of
lose.
looks there needs to be it kind of looks like there needs to be either a jellyfish or also a I would have guessed a Gift of Self is probably a bit better here. But yeah, now kind of contesting to the jellyfish. But yeah, we do see that auto spy coming out already, and that is gonna take any hopes of winning with that. Doing anything significant with that jellyfish and potential moth lantern. So now
Yes.
has to already sacrifice their jelly with only really getting out their maw. But
Yeah.
at least it's getting out more resources from the Sigisma here, but still definitely not a good position for the Linderway.
That's right. I mean, at that point, it could be still again that just like the Hero Expedition maybe could potentially getting blocked, or even like in a higher chance just like also being able to progress there at some point, because right now we only can see like the Foundry mechanic will be left. Don't know which those 2 hand cards would be the case. I mean, the funniest thing would be if this is just like a teamwork training or a tiny jail, and then it's like GG at this point, maybe. For our Freeloader right now, this is
I mean,
shocking.
if it's just actually pretty much anything this Sigisma here plays can be answered still by what Freeloader has, since it's still putting out 2 stats in that Forest Expedition they're contesting. So yeah, playing out that Foundry mechanic here does pretty much nothing for the Sigisma, and they pretty much have to play something out from hand here.
Yeah.
And Killan mentioning that is shockingly competitive this match, and yeah, I can only agree. To me, this still looks very hard for the Sigisma to pilot on what they are doing, and yeah, they do just get the pass out here, and Freeloader basically doesn't really have to commit a card, since they can play their mobile armory and basically get the other one that's already in the expedition back. So it's a 1-for-1 for this turn, and the Linderway only had to play a single jellyfish and a single mobile armory to get a 1-for-1, and that is a very efficient use of resources.
Yeah. And whew. I mean, the funniest thing right now would be if our Sigisma just like we're putting out a card on the wall and just like pass.
I mean, this turn a Grand Endeavor for the Sigisma is probably not even good, because you're just getting double advanced on, and then it's small step turn for the Linderway. So yeah, Grand Endeavor
would be easy.
Probably not helping a lot here.
Easy. Oh, it's the Tooth Fairy. Oh yeah, I've totally forgot Lindy can also play small step.
Yeah. But I mean, together with an additional auto spy, it might be okay to just play out the Grand Endeavor, and you're just hoping that they don't have anything. But I'd still say you'd expect the Linderway to double advance this turn, and yeah.
That's true. Okay, the Moonlight Jellyfish will be played out on the hero side. Will be now the turn of our Sigisma. And it will be an Osma, okay.
You're calling everything Ozma today. You called the
Ozma, I'm
Rescribe
so
Ozma, you
sorry.
called the Eternal Ozma. You just live for that Ozma errata, and
Yeah.
really like the new card.
Nah, I don't like the New York card. But I'm still like thinking of it's okay to play her in the deck.
Okay, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
at some point, everyone is just like complaining that like the Ozma cannot like be activated with the resupply because 3 characters, and I'm like, that was also like the old Ozma doing. So it's just like instead of resupply, you draw a card. It's still okay. So we will
and a
see. Oh,
beautiful
this card
top deck
that's this
for
interesting. I would say there is a. You will not believe me, but this will be a charge now. I'm believing. I'm believing.
Okay. I don't believe, but yeah, okay.
Do we have the deck list? Do we have the deck list?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, is there a charge in?
No.
Okay, I was hoping at some point. That's an
There's
offer right
Rallying
here.
Call,
Yeah.
though. You could say Rallying Call is a small charge. But
Yeah.
there's definitely now there's now Teamwork Trainings, Tiny Jails, other 2-cost characters available to the Sigisma. So if there's a Frog Prince here in hand, I think there's no way for the Slenderway except of a Off You Go to beat this year. And
That's true.
yeah. Also a bomb would
Just
also deal with
passing.
this. That is
All
interesting.
right. It's interesting. Playing additional Baba Ispa, getting another draw.
That is pretty good.
But just like I would say, sacrificing the 2 fairy and progressing through the companion side at least, but there would be sitting the Autos Attorney, the Ozma Attorney.
The Ozma Attorney.
Yeah, the Ozma Attorney to try the additional card. It's just like one of the funniest things that this Autos Attorney is being on the watch list as a rare card. Because I mean it's like actually an amazing card. 2 costs, getting 2 stats overall, being able to draw a card when it fates to move. But I never thought like of the rate that this card is like super OP or super frustrating to play against. But I would say the common Monolith Legate would be like even worse for me because it's just like a common that doing like sabotage. But it's okay.
And for this turn, I'm looking at a card for Freeloader. I think if I'm not mistaken, a lot of these cards are borrowed from Kilon Guy. I'm not sure there's a Studious Disciple in here. I know that for sure that is Kilon's. There's a Yizimi Stargazer, which I'm not too sure about. I haven't seen Kilon talk about that. And there's also an Easy Talk that I could see come down this turn for the Lendaway here. That would be quite exciting, but yeah, of course.
Also mine.
There's not too much mana for the Slenderway to work here with. So and also they are on the second player, so it's even harder to get out your Maw this turn. And yeah, so I think this turn might be a bit too rough to play your Easy Talk.
That's true. And talking about Killen, it's like Killen. Every time I heard that Freeloader is a unique, also like your name is dropping in. So do you like already like sharing your accounts? So because I was actually thinking of that how funny it would be to just like have one big team account because you can like log in it on multiple accounts and then you can just like create a deck list you want to play. But then I realized for the Tumult Championships you're only allowed to actually I trade over whenever you need stuff. All right, okay. That's amazing.
Yeah,
I mean, talking about having half of my uniques, I mean, someone here is sitting, I don't know who it is, that actually has like, of course, all of my uniques that actually playable.
I think we're borrowing each other to 2 uniques each right
No.
now.
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, you didn't borrow me. You're just like wants that I will increase the market price with playing that. So that you are doing for my Robin Hood when Rahu is getting back to Mada.
Yeah, exactly.
No, just kidding. So as we can see,
this Rallying Call here is a beautiful slow play for the Sigisma. Rallying Call in the late game is such an amazing card. Just putting out boosts, getting the after use is so good. And yeah, I really like this Rallying Call here, and that makes it quite tough now for Freeloader to react. But yeah, for you now, just after Ewing together with that Babasispa and sacrificing the recruit, and yeah, the Sigisma can now basically again after you using that rallying call, and if there's a removal spell, this hero companion side looks quite untestable. But there is an Athena for Victor Mada here, and this is giving out a lot of boosts, and yeah, this looks kind of tough now for Freeloader.
That's true. Oh, the Athena is getting in there, as you mentioned. But I was like, is there like any chance? But it seems not, right?
Yeah, I think not even.
It's run 2 boosts. I was thinking of
There
like
needs
maybe
to
not
be
Crusaders,
there needs to be a combination of exactly 2 cards, and that is, in my opinion, off you go and the beauty sleep, just off you going that token and beauty sleeping the Athena. But I think I'm currently one of the few Lindaway players that's running beauty sleep over bomb, and yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the Sigisma is taking the win here, and
so GG.
yeah.
I guess Victor Mada, man.
GG to
Awesome
Victor Mada,
game, awesome game.
He's taking Freeloader's elo, but still over the 500 mark.
Yeah, and I mean getting over 500. I wish I would be over 300 at one point.
I am very close to the 500 currently. I'm on 499. Awesome. So yeah, 1 point missing for the 500s. Ran into top 2 Sigismas back to back. Yeah, first getting Gladius and now Victor Mada. And I don't think the Lindaway matchup is too strong.
I mean, that is true, no? But I mean, one of those 2 top Sigisma backs to backs, like one of them, like not anymore there in the tournament. So, I mean, at the end, Freeloader did run on some point. I wish I could back to 200. I mean, Trapstar. Oh, Cole, hello, first of all. I mean, Trapstar. It's hard. It's hard to be getting even on 300, you know, in my opinion. It's not because I'm changing my deck like every day and don't know what to play actually. It's not like that, but it could be like that.
Okay,
No, just like kidding. But I just want to ask you if we want to join another table. But it seems like that those tables getting like finished really fast today.
Yeah,
like at least for the last round, also this round. I'm searching for a game.
I'm currently looking at table 5 here against Itan. I'm not sure if it's finished already, but Yo, of course, being one of the well-known Farnas players, and Itan is the Foundry Kojo player, so that's always exciting.
It's interesting. Was there already? Yeah, there's a Foundry.
Yeah.
Quite ironic. That's funny. But it seems like a strong board for our... Ooh, this cost. Target character gets free boost and your main return target character or permanent to its owner hand. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, we see one of the Spindle Harvester would be played out. Yeah, I can tell. I can say we can go to another table, right? Because they're both finished, as it seems.
Is it finished? The Afana still has mana left.
He was like quite ironic and said GG.
Oh, yeah, well done.
So I just like taking those.
He drew into small step with the spellers. Yeah. Well, I see now. Yeah.
I mean, we can watch a small step finish, but I don't want to do it.
I was just told that Psycho had won their round and it was lost.
Or which table?
Which lost, table? So I'm not too sure which table. I'll just look.
Where did you find it? I can use
table 27 probably, but it's already finished. But I'm not too sure.
Okay, guys, let's go.
But I think we're together. You want to replay that now?
It's unsanctioned title and graphic reported. I don't know what you mean. I would say everything is normal in this stream, and also like with the title. And there's like a small chance that we're both getting together again. So we need to take the chance. We need to take the chance, guys. So Psycho said that he lost even he was winning.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, let's go. We recheck that.
Can we fast forward to the game somehow? Do we somewhere see how many moves they were played?
Yeah, I would say go to the end of the game. Okay, guys, let's go. So we will see it like quite fast there, and I would say instead of checking out 2 billion more rounds, we can just like I did something wrong. Please like and subscribe. Yeah, guys. So as you can see, it would be a mirror matchup, and we take actually the look of Psycho, getting those Caligarian Alchemist, both being able to progress. Psycho is getting to double progress, but I'm not sure. What do you think could be the case at the end?
Oh, I got the screenshot and
Oh.
I see what the problem is.
Okay.
There's a misunderstanding in the tiebreaker rules, and the game went to tiebreaker, and they thought that is the highest in general is winning, but it's whoever has more, whoever is winning 2 out of 3 of these regions, or whoever is winning more regions in total. So you could also just be even on two regions and win on the last one. So yeah, this is still a victory for Valenzen here, because the tiebreaker rules, they win on 2 out of 3 expeditions in the tiebreaker.
Oh, okay. But you know what's funny is I would say that was like the most conflict when it comes to our local play about the rules of the tiebreaker. Like the funniest thing was when people still thought that you just like comparing expedition wise, and they're spamming like all their cards on one expeditioner and saying, "Oh yeah, it's still a tie because I won on those expeditions." I was like, "No, it's like being all points together." They were like, "No way, no." And then it was like, yes. So I can understand it. We also got like some quite of problems to understand how the tiebreaker is working. But right now, it seems that he understood, right? So it's okay. But I mean, we couldn't change it like anyway. But what we can do is just like taking a look. So there are like still like 3 tables left. So if you want, we can go just like to another one. I would say let's go to table 52 maybe, because I don't know. Oh, they're finished. All right, we have the same at our locals when it comes to tiebreaker. Yeah. But I'm like, it's actually funny about the tiebreaker because it's like one of the most things, it's like one of the things that you can actually read before ever getting to the rulebook or stuff like that, out of the starter decks, how the tiebreaker is working. It was somehow funny because it was like the biggest conflict that I had at some point, sometimes with like newer players. If they're just like, the best part is if they're not believing you. And then you're showing them the rules and they're like still not believing you. And you're like, okay. But anyway, so we can go to, maybe to table 25 to Hurricane, and there's BB Tornus. They're still playing. We can watch the. Oh, yeah, my most favorite matchup. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's great, right?
It's awesome. And we will see the off you go. Getting placed down. And it seems good. I wanted to say it seems good for Hurricane, but actually the mage Chancellor is put to sleep, so
yeah, that one is quite sleepy at the moment.
But I mean, it's still like being 2 mana left, but could be also a possible chance to just playing out the Muna Kerker for an additional card to maybe blocking it. The next spell you play this afternoon cost 1 nest. Oh, it could be actually a good possible chance.
It could be together with the magical training, but I'm not too sure what you're playing the caregiver for. You can just play out your magical training anyway. Maybe
play it
together with something from your hand. I'm really not sure what this caregiver is in for in this stage for.
Oh, okay.
This caregiver not really giving you stats, just making. It's probably just a 0 mana after you, kind of. And if that's the reason you're running it, I think it's fine, but
yeah,
still looking not the best as. But yeah, of course there are different options you can run in your list to play your uniques one. I was just trying to figure out what this is played for, and yeah, that's quite an efficient after you.
Yeah. So it will be the turn of Hurricane right now. And would be Eva just like being able, or at least needs to do something. So it would be the Muna Caregiver and could be into any 2-cost or 1-cost spell. Still got like a lot of more possibilities right now, but then it's like the question, but it's would not even being able to, getting to the hero side, so it would be played through the companion side, and another off you go would be so crazy right now. Is there like a chance of getting it? Yeah, it's quite a chance of getting the off you go. That would be so funny
Also,
right now.
there could also just be the
Oh
no!
no!
But it's going
The
to time.
hardest opponent to face. The tournament maximum time. Like the hardest opponent, like no one ever won against it.
The clock is
opponent.
just. I'm usually playing with the clock. The clock is on my side usually because well, I'm playing hostage decks and I just like the time. The timeout is great.
Okay, it's funny because the other game's still being ongoing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy, but I don't know how it's like. How it's ruled on BGA that like one game is already like getting close, but the other game is still being played. But it also seems like, look at the timer. If you can take a closer look, it's just like white instead of red.
No, yeah, probably because this game has started later and players showed up later to the round. Maybe that's the reason. But yeah, it's definitely kind of weird that there's differences between who is.
Oh, all right. It is too fairy looking good. You may put a card from your hand in reserve. If you do up to 2 target characters, gain 1 boost. If I have 1 or more boosts, your characters other than me have, I gain 1 boost. Played for the reserve at the cost of 3.
That is quite a lot of text on the Tooth Fairy.
Yeah. Alright, so where's the behavior from the AQZ?
Is Akisha now trying to somehow contest this? I feel like this Hathor was played onto the wrong expedition since it is better in blocking out that Fire Rabbit. But maybe they just wanted to contest onto the Forest stat to win that one. But yeah, this is looking interesting. And now committing even further to that hero expedition. Maybe there's still an off you go or a BD sleep to get rid of this.
Off you go is being played 3 times in a row, as it seems on the Discord, but it's like the magical training. But I'm not sure.
Yeah, this
maybe like next case of learning a new rule. That you win if your expedition is progressing more. So, but I would say this was the last game. Oh man, it's like kinda crazy that those games taking that short time. Maybe all of them just like want to speedrun to getting finished for today. Guys, I'm feeling so old. Actually, I am. This time shift destroys me. Oh, just the training. I mean, I would say I could totally feel you, but I got home office, so. But I understand what you mean. We understand it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you have someone you want to look at for round 3?
I would say for now that I would take a look. I would go to a table and then I will put my dinner in the oven.
Okay.
And then I can enjoy it in the next round. Will be a short time, guys. You can actually see me in the kitchen when I'm doing it, when I keep the door open. So, I would say maybe go to table. Man. There are so many cool players to watch.
That's true.
It's hard. And let's go to table 22 Genetic against Vodka Zero. Yeah.
Okay.
Vodka Zero, crazy name. And it's someone from Germany. Oh. Paandyandy cooking show.
Creative name.
I mean, I like to cook. Maybe at one time, because actually it would be really easy for me to stream to stream me cooking, because it's actually that's on Thursdays. Yeah, it's like the own cooking show. But this would be the craziest crossover in the future if we have like an actual cooking show running in the background.
Sure.
So I would take my pizza now to the oven because I'm hungry. Woo. And then you
I'm
will have
already in the game.
Yeah, I'm already in the game. It's Fennec and Sierra.
Yeah, and we've seen this matchup earlier, I believe, with Kai Snow against Kaifer. And that one was going the way of the Sierra, but that one was playing very strong uniques in the list with these token generators when a card goes from your deck or hand to your reserve. So now we're seeing probably a list that's not running these, but I'm definitely excited to see what the Sierra here has cooked up. And we do see the start with a Colonic Heater and just getting these brass bucks in play, and also for the next day being able to play out that Colonic Heater for 1 mana and still get that brass buck is quite a nice card. And I've seen this one early on in the set to get a lot of brass bucks in play just by using that hero ability from the Sierra, and I've seen it be played out less often by now, but it's still a great card to play in your Sierra lists. Now, going into this next turn, there's potential for the Fen to play out an Aloe Vera. I'm not too sure if Genetic is still running that card. I can take a quick look if I can find it, and yeah, it actually instantly gets resupplied, so it will likely just be played out immediately, unless it's Sabotage, but I think there's not many ways for a Sierra to Sabotage from hand, since Toothfire is probably the best Sabotage tool, and we do, interestingly enough, see a Moonlight Jellyfish rare coming out from the Sierra player. Maybe this is just kind of as an after you, or they're actually planning to play out any... They could actually pretty much just play out any permanent here, just sacrificing their Jelly afterwards and getting that 1-for-1 trade this turn. And as Fen, if you want to play out your Aloe here, you're definitely playing it out on Companion Expedition, because if there's now a permanent coming out, the 4-for-4 Brassbug isn't currently going 1-for-0 this turn, and you're just going 0-for-0 and you're playing for the later rounds. So this Aloe is still looking quite nice for... Oh, I'm watching Table 20. Penny forgot to put up the game on stream. I'm quite sorry. My co-host is... You had a great podcast here, so yeah, maybe I can just read out the chat a bit until Pandy is back, because he forgot to put up games. Yeah, I'm sorry for just realizing it that
Hello?
late. Hello. You fooled me. I thought I was commentating a game that the people could watch, but I was just doing a podcast here on the game.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I mean, it was a long time that it happened, so I was doing a bigger team events at AQZ.
I didn't realize that for quite a while. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my podcast. Now you can also see what's going on, and yeah, there is that jellyfish that I was talking about. And I mean,
it didn't happen so much, right? During the game, we didn't miss too much. That's good.
yeah, that's true. And we do see a Sierra running Moonlight Jellyfish. That's still very exciting to me. And
I mean, it's actually crazy if you think about it. It's just like the Colonic Heater could be played out, creating the press bug, sacrificing the Moonlight Jellyfish already like in that turn, getting additional boost, and then just play it out on the hero side and getting actually a double progression for that right now.
I think double progression is quite hard to get this turn.
Oh, it's the water region. No, I'm sorry, guys.
I was just looking at my dog because she was staring at the at the wall or at her shadow, and that was quite funny.
Do you know those YouTube videos where they're saying if your pet is just like what they like looking at a random spot on the room, then it's because a ghost is standing there?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's definitely the case here, yeah.
Yeah, it's the case.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe it's like the ghost that I would say I have a ghost that's like always putting some Robin Hood uniques inside my boosters.
Yeah.
Because guys, I did it. I tried like my 14th Robin Hood unique after the patch out of a booster. So I'm doing like just like a normal like I'm doing like opening a display every month like because I like to opening it. And then I can just like give away some cards to friends that's playing. And there again was another Robin Hood. Maybe I would do a showcase. Maybe this would be my first YouTube video, a showcase. So excited for your latest and greatest Robin Paandyandy. Yeah, I'm also excited because at one point, if Raro, but the next will even, yeah, I would say it's because of Man of Games, like the shop where I'm buying. I think he was like on a gold mine that no one opened. Yeah. Oh, I was so scared when like your dog was walking because I was thinking it was like a dog in my room, and then I realized it was your face cam. I was like, great, why is the dog moving in my room? And then I was like, oh, it's your room.
Great.
Okay, so let's jump right back into the game. Okay, so, but right, the Kidonic Heater would be played out now, right? Again, being on the... Oh, yeah, and then with the Rake Energy. Okay. To hack AQZ Fooded Pajamas when maybe those pajamas would be awesome to stream on it. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. That would be awesome, yeah. So I see you talked a little bit about our jersey. And it's true, Rune. You will be our model if we're getting jerseys. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but for free, of course. Of course.
Yeah, sure. Everything is for
Do you think someone getting paid in our team? No. No.
I'm also still waiting on the salary increase for the A.W.O.L casts.
Okay.
Like Blue mentioned last time around.
Yeah.
And we do now see a frozen reprocessor from the Sierra here, trying to increase their size of their reserve and also using that sacrifice from this jellyfish.
That's amazing.
That's quite the synergy.
And it's crazy because I mean at the end the could be either just like getting out the hair playing the magical training again, but there's like a lot of more potential to cost that you actually could take a use of for Fan to at least getting progress on the hero side through the mountain region type, but it seems good for our Zero again. And I like those Zeros getting more and more action and plan also on the stream. I don't remember like any stream where I had like a chance to actually getting into 2 zeros at one stream. That were like not the last table that everyone was actually waiting for. That's amazing. Or someone asking in the chat, hey, watch my stream. watch my game on the stream. I play Zero. And I was like, okay, who needs a jersey when you can wear gowns? I mean, with our wizard theme, we have like almost infinite possibilities to put jerseys on because we can always say it's like it's like crazy. But maybe let's see. But wouldn't be like such like cloth things really expensive? Expensive like the trinket that we'll be putting on the aloe vera. Nice.
Interesting play, just saying I'm going down one again. Or maybe they still have a Martin play from hand.
But a Martin will be a studio disciple. Oh, that's amazing. Getting the magical training back and with the Ouroboros Incanster, also studio disciple, a nice card to have. Quite not seen that much in fanlist in general.
Yeah.
But I would say if we talking about a player like Genetic, who is like well known for his friend, I would say it's like Genetic. For me, it's like Genetic and Rui that I'm taking always a look when I watched into fan gameplays.
Yeah.
But those both are also like the craziest guys if it comes to just like rare slots, especially because usually most of the time the rare slots looking kind of the same for every fan, but they're taking some special steps. For example, with the studio designer that we saw, or maybe also like a Ruby that's like to play Flamme as a rare version, or the Aspirate that you can draw a card for every card that you can discard from the reserve.
Yeah.
Quite interesting, but also interesting that Vodka Zero, just like being able to progressing each time through expedition, being ahead of that as a Sierra. With the frozen reprogressor, I would say there would be like more chances of getting into those, also with the frozen delivery. So let's see how this game will take, but for now it seems still good for our Sierra, and I like that.
For me, Sierra's probably a deck that heavily relies on your uniques you play in the game. And if you're able to play uniques that put out a bunch of stats like we saw Kaifu play in their Sierra list, I think your Sierra list can definitely beat out a Fen in the late game. But from my experience, Fen is a deck that is very good in the late games, and in the early stages of the games, they're just trying to gather resources quite effectively so they can go into the late game with an advantage in card size. And we do already see a difference of 4 cards in the 4 cards more in the hand for this Fen here, and they're already pretty much able to just trade 1 for 1 this turn and can just look to set up even more card advantage. And they could also just try to look to to contest this, but I'd say as Fen in this point, you're probably rather looking to generate more card advantage, play out more magical trainings, return them to your hand, or play them out a second time from reserve, and you're already well set up for the later stages of the game.
That's alright, and as we can see, Ruby also our both Incaster for our Zero that's coming into play. Also a card that is quite surprising to see being into the play, but nice take. Getting another card back.
It's a nice card.
Yeah, I would guess.
Sadly has the downgrade of not reducing the card play of your next card. I think if it had that, it would see a lot more play in Axiom, because it would then allow you to discard your Brass Archives. And interestingly enough, I haven't mentioned that common Brass Archive that's in the reserve right now for the Sierra here. Maybe they don't have the slot support, but that Nancy here just blocking out already looks super strong. And together with that Incaster taking the 2-for-0 this day already. And that's looking super strong.
That's looking nice. And I just was like thinking about like on the early start before just like the Nerium got like played out, that usually a reserve like that for Fen is like actually really amazing. It's like either like cheap cards that you just like can play out to save like some time during the turns to see what your opponent actually could play out. But it's also just like a nice addition to actually just like discard 2 cards to getting like additional card from the hand. Or just like using the Haver that sadly got exhaust at that point, because there were like so many possibilities. And as we can see right now, just like playing out the Martingale and being able to double progress right now. But for our Zero, it's taking maybe still looking good, because being able to getting a card back from reserve now, and maybe it would be the Press Archive. It could also be something else. Let's see.
I would expect it to be the Brass Archive, because you're keeping that around with the Frozen Reprocessor anyway. But probably getting back your Frozen Delivery is kind of good, because
I mean, off the downside, there's like a chance it's getting just like sabotaged from Fen. As we can see, Fen got so many draws out of the upcoming turns that there at least could be like a chance. But it's taking the high risk is okay, but for the upcoming turn, it could be just like maybe actually just like playing out a Tanuki or an Tinkerbell when it comes direct to the reserve, but it will be again a Martingale, and we can see the Blizzard. Ooh.
Yeah, that is definitely an interesting Sierra list. Running not too often seen cards, but it's looking quite cool. And that rare Blizzard artwork seems different than the usual one. And that I wanted to mention just the last time, looking at the discards from the Fen. I would usually expect a Fen to keep a Martingale over a Hathor, except you're having either a Off You Go or Magical Training in hand to just bounce that again to your hand and get card advantage that way. And yeah, we do exactly see that played first for the Fen here, just playing out that Magical Training less after you, and now potentially just looking to bounce it with their Hathor to play it out again. Looking super strong here, but of course that Sierra now can build up a board that the Fen afterwards has to look to somehow contest. And yeah, I think there's not too many super strong things going on for the Sierra at this point, but maybe there are some powerful things that are being able to be played from hand.
It's true. So right now for Genetic, there's like many possibilities to just like playing out. It could be just like a combination of starting off with like the Anansi, getting like a high cost card, just like really well boosted into the match, because otherwise you could just like use the Heifer in a combination with a Magical Training, draw again an additional card, because at those points it's like, even if now our Zero would be able at some point to actually double progress, it's still being like so resource heavy that our Fan could getting right now, that Fan usually could say like, okay, I can sacrifice those expeditions that going forward, because on the other hand, I'm getting so much out of it to just like start it for the upcoming turns, or even just like getting like a back for that.
Yeah.
But right now, as we can see, it would be just like the Anansi getting on the hero side. It would be maybe just like the reason that like there would be like, if the Press Archive would come to play, then this Press Archive could just not like getting splitted again on both expeditions. So it needs to focus at that point on one expeditioner, on at the hero side, to at least just like blocking it for there. So then it could be the possible chance to just like playing out the Martingale, for example, just like the blocking it. But as we can see, the press bugs will completely dive in to the companion side. And right now, that's interesting.
This looks like a double Magical Training turn now for
yeah,
Genetic here. But
and it would be totally fine for Genetic.
Yeah, they could still, of course, just try to take a 2-0 here, but I don't think it's necessary, especially a 2-0 isn't necessary before you're not on game point with a double advance. So I'm just setting up here for next turn, getting potentially just the double draw out of this Magical Training here and saying, well, next turn I have the resources to double advance, and then I'm gonna do it, even though I could do it now. It is a decision I quite like, and with having started to play Afanas, I made that decision myself quite a few times, and I really like that. Just say, well, I'm gonna double advance later, take the 1-for-1 now, and just build up cards in hand.
I mean, what would be like really funny is like there would be like another chance that actually our Fan could like double progress, but maybe we can talk about it like after the game to continue on what's happening now. But it's like actually funny what many possibilities Fan directly got right now, instead of just like playing out the Magical Training twice. It's been so funny. But anyway, so we will see that like now the press bug, at least we're giving out a press bug on either the companion or hero side. And I would say in the combination with Blizzard, still like a chance for our Zero, but as you can see, many hand cards for our Fan right now. So like almost infinite ways how the turn could take over.
Yeah.
And now with 8 mana, it's also just like double Twinkle, and then that's it almost. Like, because double Twinkle, then just like reducing again the card cost of the next upcoming cards in play, and then you could easily just like double progress. But maybe it's still just like sleeping there. Under that, but it will be the Magpie Order. Also, like a nice card to have onto the reserve, and we will see the Frozen Delivery and the Mechanical Training. Oh, that's amazing. So being able to play the Mechanical Training and afterwards the Blizzard, but the Blizzard right now, exhausting.
You do kind of see the weakness of that common Brass Archive. The Brass Box you're creating are really not do not feel as threatening at all as the boosted up Brass Box are feeling. And also
Yes.
just now getting a additional 2/2 for 2 cost with that mechanical training feels like a fair trade that most of the decks are like, well, do that. I'm fine with that. And just getting that 1 extra boost for that 1 mana or 2 mana. Well, if you're playing that mechanical training from hand with a rare Brassbark Hive, you're getting basically 2 stats more worth the cost. So that's a very good card together with that
It's true.
rare Brassbark Hive.
But as we can see now, the mechanical training at least. Oh, where it is? Did I miss something?
What? Oh yeah, they exhausted the Mechpang with their mechanical training.
All right. I just like was thinking because the mechanical training just got like discarded.
Yeah, no, it was used to exhaust, but
all right.
that Mechpang
It's getting late for me. I'm already feeling
nice
it. I'm already feeling it, guys. I'm getting old. I mean, if just the training says he's old, I'm like really old. like really, really old. Just kidding. So as we can see now, the Kodama will come into game and it's one of the I would say like most known cards from Genetic. It's the Kodama. I gain a sleep and at dusk. Each character controlled by target player gains fleeting. I would say of all fleeting cards that I've seen so far, this Kodama one of the best because it's just like sitting there for 2 turns or like for 4
I
turns.
think it might be a bit better if it was only I gain a sleep from hand, so you still can play it out on the third. If you're playing it out on day 1, you're giving up basically giving basically a double progression to your opponent. On day 2, you can contest then, and if you're playing it out again then on turn 3, and you again don't get the stats, it can oftentimes feel very weird. But if you then get it together on a body and you have that fleeting effect for 3 turns in a row where you only give up once, I think that's a pretty strong opener.
It's true, but I don't know. It would be funny if this card was already like in one of those tournaments with like from hand with the same conditioner. Because it's like, guys, that was really funny. So we will see an additional that's getting into play, passing it out. So rough player passing, being able to progress. Every card now is getting fleeting. Sad for the Foundry Armorer. It's been like a nice card to have like in general as a Sierra, as it seems, but now it's getting removed. And as we can see now, our Sierra only relating to like a frozen delivery and still to a blizzard. The Kodama still being in play for the upcoming turn. That's amazing. I don't know if Genetic's still running a small step giant leap. We have the deck list.
I don't have the deck list right now, but I don't think so. But I'm not too sure. Maybe I actually don't know. I can check if they played it the last times around.
Oh, that would be awesome.
And the last times they weren't running it. So,
so it could be
magical trainings and off you goes as rare spells.
Okay, so this could be a chance that this would be just like a small step giant leap rune. For now. So let's see if this will be the case.
And we were talking about that Kodama already a bit. And that isn't actually genetics. It's from one of his teammates, Zizi Pampon. I'm not sure how it's actually pronounced. And I was recently on the marketplace and I saw that Zizi Pampon is looking for new uniques, and I'm very sad about what they're looking for because it's my beloved draw 3 at dusk bureaucrat uniques.
No. He's looking at those stuff? No. I would say if there's like one archetype that I want to get directly banned from everything, then it is this. It would be awesome if hostage is like nice, haha, it's funny. But I would say it's only funny like in tournament things because then you have like fixed 50 minutes, so it's not interrupting like too long, you know?
I mean, the games on hostage are usually still quite fast because you don't have too in-depth decision making, and
Oh,
you're usually
yes,
just waiting for your opponents.
they're
But
fast.
of course, if your opponents just decide to hostage you as well and take up their turns as long as
Yeah,
possible, then of course it's. I yesterday had a game where I was playing a 60-minute game of Akisha because my opponent always just used all of their turns time just to annoy me. And yeah, that was indeed quite annoying, but I still
yeah.
managed to win that one. So yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't know where like this fast is coming into your mind, because the last time I was watching a hostage game, I was there like sitting here forever, like almost forever.
I mean, the second player was also hostaging me.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
just wanted to win, and they were putting my Isotox back to sleep.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
That wasn't my fault at that point.
At that point, okay, I give you that point. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay at that point.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's okay. But still, because of that, there will be now a fixed time where the boss battle is taking place. So
Yeah.
thanks. Thanks for reminding me to add something. And this was just like a proof this again. You only need to add something when something that was like not good happened. So you need to make a rule for that. And now I'm making a rule that like a boss battle cannot take like longer than like 30 minutes or something like that, because it was actually long, but it was amazing to watch. And there were like 30 people. Yeah, guys, you need to think about it. There were like 30 people still like in the stream watching it with us together. I don't know if they're all like
it was an
went
amazing
to sleep.
game.
Yeah, it was an amazing game. It was
there
actually
for the voice lines.
I would
I did
say
that
like
amazing. I still haven't rewatched that because I can't look at myself on stream, but I'd imagine it was great.
It was cool. It was actually funny. And talking about that, I was remembering, so as we saw like the Zero, so GG on Athletic, was like running a completely like, I would say like a new deck list for Sierra with this Blizzard and stuff like that. Actually on the AMA, and that was quite funny. There was like asked something, I don't know what like the specific question was, but there was like, I think the question of, is there like a deck archetype that you're playing in the office that was not found yet, and it's like being good, or like I don't know if like the name good, or like that was the question around. And then there was just like the simple answer, yes, but we will never share it until it we're getting find out, even if it's like find out. So there is like still one archetype that never showed up like in any tournament or just like a play. And then I was sitting here and I was like, I want to know
about some archetypes. Yeah, that's the fun part about the game. There's still probably a lot of things that aren't too widely known, and there's the potential for them to be good, but there's also the potential for them to just do absolutely nothing. And I was recently trying to make a list for Sabash work, which sadly it didn't really, but I really like trying to figure out archetypes. I'm probably not too creative as some other people, but
Yeah.
I've definitely shown some creativity with my VAR match list. So at least I got that on for going for me. But I still love just exploring other archetypes.
Yeah.
And I think Keelon can also sing a song of that, and me and Freeloader just is throwing the most ridiculous deck ideas into their head in our general chat. And yeah, that is always fun to think about what's theoretically possible, if it could work out or if it's just doomed to fail. That is always a fun part about the game.
And I can just like say that's true, but then I was actually it was like quite interesting, because when I was thinking about how many like
we're already in round 4.
We're already in round 4. Yeah. Oh no, everything Rune and Freeloader does, it's always peak competitive top tier. Yes, yes. But it's still funny to see. That's the point. But then I was like, if they're like talking, so they're now, I know, I would say like they're checking out those deck lists, also like those specific ones, for example, that you're running and with the sausage. And I'm sure that they're like checking those as the game designer team at some point. Just like checking out which decks, and then I was like, okay, so if they're checking, like, if they have like all the databases or like the cards that getting played, and there is like one specific archetype or like a deck list that is everyone like to play in the office and it's running well, but it was not found out yet. I was thinking of which deck list, how this deck list should take a look. So guys, there's like the chance for us now. We need to find it out together at some point.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants to join the hunt team, just say it, just telling me. So I think the easiest way is that some of us getting a job on Equinox, and then we can watch it. I was like, this was like actually the easiest part, just waiting until someone getting a job there. But maybe there are some other types. But talking about other things, do you have a table in mind that you want to take a look at?
Not specifically, but I jumped to one of the tables where I don't recognize the player
that's
names,
a good
probably.
idea, yeah.
So maybe go to table.
Yes.
Table 22. Gap 1 point against Sarek.
Almost of 400, and yes, will be a teacher player. So, guys, I call it every time when I see it, and I will say it
already
again.
over this game, right?
Yeah, it's GG.
Yeah, okay.
Muna best.
Just overreacting.
Yeah, on the first turn, it's GG.
Yeah.
This fan will never play like any spells again on one of those characters that is staying there. As you can see, the Aurora will be played out, and you know what? This Aurora, if there's like a chance, it will stay forever. And there's the Cloud Cocoon. And now you see the Spindle. Yeah, best counterplay. Only counterplay I can see right now here. Mark my words.
Yeah.
Mark my words, guys.
You should again start running the Keelan bursts in your Sigisma list to get rid of the bastions.
Yeah.
Then you can maybe also stop running sticky seal nodes in your Sigisma lists.
Yeah.
I would
you should stop it, guys. You should appreciate that.
Maybe it's actually worth a consideration again in the Sigisma lists to cut your tiny jails and play Keelan burst, or just to get rid of that Muna bastion. But I'm not too sure if that's actually worth it, because if you're cutting that tiny jail slot you have, and instead of playing something else that is enabling your tiny jails, it's kind of counter synergistic.
That's true.
That
Keelan
burst would improve your tiny jail, and you're not running it then.
I mean, at the end, you could like work around with that instead of playing the. I muted it before it happened, right? You didn't hear that? You didn't hear it, guys? I'm so sorry. And it's true. But no, actually, I'm just like saying it like more in the jokey way, but I was like actually thinking of it because I was running like 3 times in a row against the teacher with the same setup. Spindle plus Muna Bastion. Spindle Harvester plus Muna Bastion. And then Aurora. It was always the same time. And I was like, GG. I cannot remove it. I cannot remove any character if I'm not getting like all my token spammers at once, and there is not like somehow a charge directly coming into my deck so I can boost everything up that I have. Then it's GG, even with Quant and the WOP, because then there was like Lost in the Forest and goodbye.
Yeah.
And still got like 200 anchoring uniques. So yes, guys, I'm telling you, this card should be suspended. Yes, yeah. This card.
And we're seeing already a third alloy of the game with that resupply for the Taser here.
Oh, okay.
So they can't really play out any character without giving up a expedition against that 5 water stats from both of these alloys now. So
yeah.
I just read chat again, and someone was said that there's no VAR gameplay from me today, and Keelan said I could maybe stream them after A.W.O.L today. Yeah, just 2 games is like 4 hours or
2 games, yeah. Oh yeah, you could.
I mean,
I can just like continue open the stream and watch you, and then people can just like watch you if you want to. That's totally fine.
That sounds like a great plan.
Yeah.
No, I think after A.W.O.L I gotta get something to eat. So.
Oh, okay. I mean, You can do it like me and during eating, like during a raw.
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
Really nice Lyra Navigator to
Oh yeah, each character
give
control.
feeding to that aloe and finally get rid of the first aloe for the game.
Yes.
And yeah.
And directly removing it, so it was just like I'm playing it, your aloe vera is going away, and then going into the next one.
Yeah, I
to see.
probably would have preferred keeping that Navigator over the Cernunnos because I'm not really a big fan of that Cernunnos anymore. It's just a 3-mana 4/4, and I think just rare Mechpeng is kind of always the same stat line, but for once cheaper. And so I think that is usually the card that has taken the spot for Cernunnos in the fan lists. But of course, Mechpeng is also oftentimes just played as a common for that 3/3/3 as a 2-cost. That's still quite good.
So as you can see now, Okon unique will be pop. Okay, if you control 3 or no characters, up to 1 target character with hand cost, mass anchoring, and if you control 3 or more characters, plans you control ultimate game 1 boost. Amazing Okon right there to playing out. It was like quite interesting because back to like during the day I had like a small talk with Franny Gorigo, and for those who are like being new in the stream, he's like one of the greatest t-shirt player back then, maybe now if he's like still playing it, but also like trying some other decks for sure. And we were talking about, because there were like the archetypes of like if it comes to uniques, if you're playing like mass anchoring uniques or just like mass boosting uniques that every time a character joins, and it's like also like cheap cost characters in t-shirt that every time giving like boosts out. It was quite interesting because both right now we're working, and I want to say those cards are like on the watch list, and the other cards that almost like being the same broke state because they're like uniques. I can tell you, I have one where a character always getting 2 boosts if a character joins the expedition, and this is like still quite a positive way for our teacher. But as you can see, the flow 10 will be played out right now, and now there could be the possibility of actually just play out these Lunar Bastion into another additional card for this upcoming turn, and we will see as in answer the Hafer played down on the companion side. Still got 3 mana left, so being possible to just like play out the aloe vera with the reducing cost for the from the martingale. So let's see what our fan will do, but now it's the turn for Tisha, and the Ogun could be, will be played
The
out.
will be played out, but it's not actually giving out the anchors yet, since it has a 3
the
or more
Ogun,
character requirement.
Maybe a combination of Okun and Spindlehauser that's still sitting on the hand. Maybe. Could be a possible chance. Yeah.
True,
And it would be like an awesome chance.
Yeah. But the Spindle Harvester is then not getting the resupply at dusk, since it's not getting the initial boost from the Ogun. And I imagine if you had the Spindle, you'd play it first. So you also get the boost from your Ogun onto your Spindle.
Yes.
And now we see that caregiver come out. Oh, it's when character joins. Oh, I misread that. I thought it's on boost.
And ooh, that's amazing. And now, giving the other Ogun anchored. I mean, say that it's just like got resupplied, so it will getting removed. But with the Muna caregiver, actually that could be like a nice combination with like 7 mana. Wants to play like Cloud Cocoon. You have a fanboy right there in chat, and I would say you can be a fanboy, but please not off the deck list. Please, we don't need a big crowd that's liking Hostage. Please no.
That's an amazing archetype.
Rune, you need to have a break, like a big break. I have the feeling you need a big break of streaming your Hostage gameplay. Yeah, I have a feeling it could be good for you. Just take some off days.
I can also just go back to Akasha and Hostage.
No, please no.
Also great.
No, I mean, at least my Robin Hood sees some action in play when you're playing it.
That one is amazing. I love it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know because I saw what's happening with that. I mean, I played
Yeah.
it when like Waru was like the old Waru with like this was like the unique that I could play like 1 week before the Robin Hood ban. And I know what happened. It was disgusting. It was actually really disgusting.
Already a third aloe
Yeah.
error coming out for this Tasia here.
And you know
Looking
why?
absolutely
You know
disgusting.
why? You know why?
Why?
Yeah,
Why?
because of the Muna Bastion. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
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 I mean,
that's true. That card
playing
is
Twinkle
absurd.
Twinkle, GG. Spending 4 mana for 1 sleep. Playing Glove Cocoon, GG. Need to remove the Spindle Muna Bastion. So, but I mean, at the end, our fan will be able to actually double progress, but both of the aloe raras were just like sitting there and getting like a double resupply. That's amazing for Tisha right now because
I mean, they're kind of getting the same resources at noon because the
Yeah.
fan is also getting a double resupply.
That's true.
But yeah, the alloys for the Tasia are, of course,
And
a lot bigger.
oh, amazing cards to actually resupplying. And there would be a Sneezer Shroom and the Lyra Thespian. Okay, that's crazy. And getting an additional boost for a card because of that's like the even better thing about the Muna Bastion, that you're getting an additional boost if like a card remains on your board.
That is so strong.
Yeah, that's actually really funny. I like the card. I actually really love the card. I hope at some points that maybe something like Landmark Permanence we're getting like a unique or like a reprint for like newer versions. So there's like also a story behind it from like the common to the rare to the unique version. But I don't know how you want to handle that. I have no clue, guys. But it would be funny for like the artworks that like getting changed. It would be so amazing. So we will see the Sneezer Shroom coming out on the hero side, getting additional boost, getting anchored. And I still would say that like our fan had so many possibilities to actually defend one of those expedition at least to maybe stall it to the next turn. But still keep in mind that the Lyra Thespian and the Beauty Sleep still being around there and being able just like to getting played out. So even if the Xenonos getting like a high stat, like for 3 cost 4/4 was amazing back in the days, but for now it's like a card that not seem like that very much into fan, sometimes into Nevenka, just like for the stat price. As I saw it like on my research for Nevenka. So, but it's like it's looking good for our t-shirt right now, but still like our fan got possibilities to play out.
And this with the play of the Sneezer Shroom, the Tasia isn't able to play both Beauty Sleep and Despin anymore, but still that Despin currently looking to block out a potential Incaster play. It's not winning yet, but if there's anything else to be played from hand here from this Tasia, I think this could already be game.
It could be like an additional Thespian or anything else. It could be played out right now.
I think maybe the best card probably to contest this right here is probably Hathor for the fan. But even that is only putting out one additional stat over that 9/9 in Forest and Mountain. But there is the Argon, and that's just ending the game here on the spot. So GG's to our Tasia player. And
So GG. Congrats. Nice to see Tisha getting wins because I started to play the game. Guys, I was like, I was a fanboy back in the old days. But right now, Tisha is like, I always played Tisha. Muna was like my deck type for a long time. But talking for a long time, we still got enough time for actually taking another game to watch. So let's see. Maybe we could go to table 1 to Mouse against Head Nacho because I don't remember that I saw Nitro, like Nitro with the Team Tech Nitro had Nitro
Okay,
as
sure.
a player before, and Mouse, I also don't recognize Mouse. And as long as this game happening, I would say that my pizza is finished. So maybe I would take it out after the game. So let's see. So it's just like being one expedition for our Fanas, just like to taking over, and it seems like that the Flamel could, yeah. Oh, it seems more like that actually the Trinket needs to be played out, but it seems like that our Fanas with the helping hand getting 4 to 5. Yeah, it could be actually possible that
The Trinket here is now taking the game basically, right? There's not enough boosts to be put on that Baba Yaga, but actually they're still advancing on Forest, so
yes,
it's going into Tiebreaker this way.
Could be.
But actually they do have to. It doesn't really matter because whatever they put the boost on, the other thing is Trinket, so always there's the advance here, double advance here for the fan.
Yes.
So they can, just sleeping that Baba Yaga here now is winning for the fan.
Yeah, Mouse doing it. And hello, Batusai. Welcome to the stream. So don't misclick. Don't hesitate. Oh,
and
GG. Seeing an Afanas losing, but as you know, Afanas only top 4. I mean,
only top 4.
Now, and on the top 4 is just like being close to the 4th place. I mean, every other deck is like definitely stronger than Afanas. Like, I'm not joking. Guys, you hear it right now from us. Afanas F tier hero. F tier deck, guys. I'm not joking.
Maybe D tier.
Yeah, maybe D tier, because with good uniques, you can maybe get 1 to 2 wins, maybe. But you know, it's just like all luck to getting win with him. Yeah, because no uniques, no win. I'm telling you. Afanas C tier at best. Yeah, if you're being like a really, really good player, then it's being C tier. But otherwise, I would not go into the deck. I would probably say play Azadi, or I mean, what else you could play?
Currently, also Varus looking very strong.
Yeah, Varu looking. Gulrang. Why no one is playing Gulrang? It's like the most OP deck. Rin. Yeah, no problem, Keelan. Hey, we know you don't know like that much about Afanas. Because you're like a retired player, I know like that the meta is like kind of hard for you to understand. It's okay for us that we can explain it for you. So that's why we are here. We're not only like here to watching games, talking about other stuff. We're also here for helping you out. Yeah, true. Yeah. Because as you know, you're a retired player.
Yeah, he's only casting just like us. So
only casting.
As retired as we are.
I mean, I just like retired before even like started playing. So you know, I just like took like a photo set. No, just we still could like watch other games because the game's ending like so fast. Or is there like any topic that you want to talk about before we're going into the next 5 games into it? Something that you want to share with us in the stream? Now is your time. It's your time.
I don't have anything.
You don't have anything. It's nice being in retirement. Yeah.
Maybe do you want to take a look at table 6? This
we can
against
go into
Sawaki.
Oh yeah. Get to spend my time gardening. Is this a hint that you're starting to playing Samuna?
No, just playing out Spindle Harvesters again.
All right. And talking about getting something out, I need to get my fruit out of the oven, or otherwise I can call the emergency right now.
And we're seeing this Nico. I believe they already won a A.W.O.L in season 1. I actually remember that because this Nico won the first tournament that I was participating in, and I got a 3rd in that event. So first try getting third felt quite nice, but now I'm retired and washed, so I'm getting to watch players play out their decks, and we haven't seen the game finishing card from the Stager being played on day 1 or 2 with that Muna Bastion, and in this matchup specifically, a Bastion feels very good, just making your characters tough and removing possibilities to get your characters off you go in the early stages of the game. In the later stages of the game, it's still quite expensive to off you go, but it's more considerable than in the early games. And we also see this Neko having these mass anchoring uniques in that, there is a Muna Druid in the reserve, and that one is saying whenever a character gains boost, if you control 3 or more characters, up to 1 target character gains anchored. So this is one of the well-known mass anchoring uniques. And interestingly enough, there's a common Kodama in this list for this Neko. I haven't seen that a lot in recent times. But yeah, maybe some players still are picking that up on their deck lists, and we do see that first play of the Muna Druid to probably just re-anchor that Alo here on that hero side. And I'm getting a bunch of Discord messages in the background. I may have to mute that one since my team seems to be spamming a bit right now. But I think that will stop during the next round anyway, because then they have to concentrate on their own games and can't really chat with each other anymore. And yeah, looking also, I can take a look at the Yizmi or at the Afanas Uniques right here. I haven't mentioned that. This Hua Mulan that's in reserve is losing Fleeting at Dusk if it has 2 or more boosts, and also discards a character that costs 3 or less, so quite nice. But that 4 cost unique is quite heavy, and there's a at Dusk unique Spindle Harvester in play for this Afanas here. But this one isn't bouncing spells, it's just a drawing when it has a single boost on it. So quite decent, not what's considered optimal, but getting out draw uniques is still definitely quite nice. They are just kind of working as pseudo mage dancers to just get additional resources. And sometimes when you don't have spells, you necessarily want to bounce. The draw can even be better than the bounce.
It seems.
So you're getting your pizza now?
Yeah, I'm getting my pizza now, and
Okay.
I was like the first bite. It was like refreshing because I was almost fit to like try to sleep because I was so hungry. But guys, I can tell you right now, this will be the last time. Sadly, now okay, I will not like any make promise, but it will be the last time that I would eat during the stream because at the next week I just like have like regular working times back like months before, so that I'm not just like heading home or just like being on a short certain steps on home and then need to cast and then boom, 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 boom. So I'm just like getting home, can eat something, and then I'll be ready. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Sounds great.
I'm already enjoying it. And as we can see, the Hua Mulan will be played out,
Yeah.
discarding
the
discarding the other way, and now the Kodama we're getting in play. 1 or more boost if you control 3 or more characters. Actually, it's pretty funny because sometimes there's a point that those anchoring uniques still goes like for 200 to 300 euros in the marketplace without like any reason, because this is like a conditioner. I don't know when a Chicha player wants to hit that, but it's like actually hard to hit. Still like an amazing card to have because better than nothing. It's surely. But guys, if you're seeing like those cards, maximum like, I'm taking a guess 50 euros because that's like a condition. Like there's like so many better conditions than that. Just like for you now, I'm gonna miss the sound of Panty munching. Yeah, I will continue eat. It's okay. It's okay. At some point, maybe we can also do like a lunch stream and playing Outright during doing eat. So let's go. Let's see. So the Mulan still getting boost after boost, but seems that not being able to being enough. But the Spindle Harvester, being able to actually draw a card. So it's almost just like one expedition left for our teacher right now to play, and the aloe vera being on almost, not on almost, like being on perfect expedition right now.
I mean, perfect. It would be perfect if the Afanas was on that water region on the companion side, but then it would definitely be perfect. But right now, it's from my perspective, it's looking rather hard for this Tasia here to get the finishing steps of this game to put out enough stats onto that hero side. If there's a single mage dancer now, this looks already very hard, and there's still that Hua Mulan sticking around for the Afanas, just already discarding that Aloe and not having that Muna Bastion in play and getting all your characters removed by that Hua Mulan is so awful. And yeah, I think that there's one person that's maybe also by now in chat with Simon that has a similar Hua Mulan, but for Bravos, and that's pretty much also, that should also be pretty strong into Afanas and or Tasia, because everything they play is 3-cost and they wanted to stick around for a while. So just discarding that is very good.
That's true. As you can see, that the mage dancer will directly jump into the play, and that unique is crazy.
Oh,
it's Ausonics. I remember him. Isn't it
the streaming?
Hmm?
Is he back streaming the games, or?
Oh, that would be so awesome. Let's check it beside the game. For those guys, for you that don't know, Ausonics was actually one that started to stream on Twitch back in the days. Was amazing, but it seems like that he's not doing it.
But someone that we were watching earlier, kept 1 point, is actually streaming that. That is quite exciting. And also someone else from the tournament side seems also streaming. That's quite nice that players started streaming their own tournament games.
That's awesome. I like that.
I've also started streaming my own games on Thursdays in the spaghetti tournaments, and I've got 2 4-1 finishes in these tournaments in a row with playing Varu. So yeah,
that's amazing.
The tournament organizers had to wait a while for the results, but I won.
You won.
I played quite well in both. In the last 2 times I was participating.
Yeah, maybe I will have the time to join one of the NUC tournaments.
Oh yeah.
Finally, I get time to do those evening events. That would be so awesome. And now we will see. Oh, okay. Visitor is a Bushi, but when you're a character you control gains 1 or more boosts. So let's see if this would be a condition of which just like play it out to actually get some stats of a region. But as we can see, getting discarded additional boost for our mage dancer. And at that point, I would say
the best card here is Beauty Sleep for the Tasia.
Beauty Sleep will do it.
Yeah.
Right now, but will it be on the hand? Let's find out.
That's a good question.
Okay, Nico. It's like 1 card, Beauty Sleep. Easy.
Yeah.
Come on, teacher, show this detail. Yeah.
Is there anything else that could win here? Is there anything else for 2 that could win here? I think if they had enough boosts, a Thespian could also take it, but you have this one that doesn't have the additional boosts, so yeah, the Afanas is taking it.
Winning. Yeah, but Afana still is siege here. It was just like unique. Yeah, unique stuff. Because
it's not even unique stuff. It's Bastion draw diff.
Yeah, Bastion draw, because with the Bastion, would be an
It
easy
would have been a
win.
win. Yeah.
Would be an easy win. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would say, as we
Would
can
agree.
see now, pay to win. Order it is pay to win. Uniques.
Yeah.
As you can see, yeah, this game
Yeah,
was approved
agree.
for every game that's happening. You can only win with uniques. It's like the only case that you can do. But we can see who will win on table 24 because it's the last table that's actually being played, and it will be again Afanas against the fan. Wow.
No.
Another Afanas. Didn't know that this card, this deck is actually so popular. Didn't know that.
It's new to me. And it seems like the Afanas is just winning this turn.
But I think it's like actually out of luck that we're seeing an Afanas running twice, as we can see right now. But also because of unique diff.
Yeah. There's a nice. Oh, this is actually a pretty nice Spindle Harvester. Yeah. I mean, prefer these ones. I even prefer these ones over the ones that a Keelan guy has because, well, this one has stats on basic. So it's, I think, the supportability is maybe. I'm not sure what's considered the optimal supportability. I think I like it a bit more if you're having the return a spell from your reserve to your hand over the costs one less, but yeah, still one of the two best supportabilities as well. And yeah,
it's true. And guys, I don't want to interrupt you on the table, but you're actually the last table that's being played. So can you finish it, please?
Yeah.
Please. Thank you so much, because like people that needs to go to work in the morning. I'm actually it's actually awesome, guys, because I don't know if you like remember it or if I like actually talked about it during the stream, but I was like actually working on the youth center, so the working times were like more on the like afternoons to the late evenings. But now I'm going back to the kindergarten, and I'm actually going not to my main kindergarten, I'm going to another kindergarten to help out, and I need to drive every day like around 1 hour with the train. And for those who are living in Germany, you will know that this is like, it's like a higher chance to win in the lottery that I will get any time there a time on my work during this month. But I'm happy because now I have time to actually just like going back into normal tournament times, because I don't need to rush at home and saying, yeah guys, bye need to leave. But talking about leaving, we can leave the 4th round because we can join directly in the 5th round. And are there like tables that you could want to take a look at? A table?
I think going into round 6, I would look at the top tables, but for now, maybe stick to the middle ones.
I mean, we still got like 3 rounds left, you know? So
yeah. So for now,
but the game is not starting. Table 6 or table 7?
No, I mean, for now, I would look at some middle of the pack.
Oh yeah, we can do it. Completely fine with that.
Maybe around table. I'm looking at table 17 right now.
Okay. I don't know the name.
I think I know the name of Caballo, but I definitely not remember streaming games. So maybe we can take a look at that. And again, a great matchup.
Yes.
We're always saying that when we're seeing any matchup, it's a great matchup, because it's always like 4 or 5 different heroes that we're seeing. And
because if we would stick on the final tables, there's like a high guess that I can tell you which matchup we would see at most.
Yeah.
You will not believe what it is. It's not Afanas and it's also not Sigisma.
On table 1 right now?
On table 1, would you say it is?
Yeah, there's definitely a trace.
Oh, that's something new. But it was also like on our tournament that a trace was on top table, on final table actually. That's amazing.
Yeah, and
maybe this would be a comeback.
Actually.
Yeah, maybe we should suspend the Haven again, because as we can see, it's getting back and trace on being on the final table.
Those weren't even lists that are running Haven.
Yeah, it doesn't matter since the Haven came back.
Yeah, that's yeah.
You need to
Okay,
see it
true.
like that.
That,
Nah,
that's
just kidding, guys.
that's with logic.
But taking a look on that game, actually, this is like not a nice startup for our teacher right now. Just like being able to play out the Leo Thespian into So. I mean, for the upcoming turns, it would be like just like amazing to have it. But for right now, it was just like a good thing. But as we can see, our Sigisma also just could play out the Order Spy that early in the game, and don't see like that nice for both players just starting off.
Yeah,
But let's see
I'm
how this game will went.
I'm kind of surprised to see this Tasia also invest there. So I'm not too sure if if Tasias just say, well, I usually don't really need to play many cards. As soon as I get my anchors, I got everything I want and I don't need to slow play. So maybe that's why they're prioritizing the advance over the card advantage. But also as the Sigisma here, I'm kind of curious why they try to make the game slower instead of just trading expeditions always. But yeah, that's already an interesting and not optimal start for both players into this game.
As you can see now, this could be like a nice combination because this oh okay, a check force that looking so much better for our Sigisma right now, because the Zoro has like a nice discard ability that also like the next character that would be played out getting an additional boost in combination with the Nero Thespian with another card that's getting like boosted before. That would be like a nice starting off, and we will see the Snoozer Shroom will be played out for now on the hero side to potentially block it and also just like to progressing through it. Still like the auto spy that we can take a look there, and it could be just like easy played on the companion side. I would assume with 2 mana left, there would be an additional card that could just be played out, or it would be just like a soul.
The soul being played.
Yeah, it could also just like the soul that's getting played. So this is like not that cool for our teacher, right?
Yeah,
I would say one of the like not the best starts that you could have, maybe. But
yeah,
let's see if this could be like a comeback.
Probably rather one of the weakest starts you can have as a Tasia, just not getting any anchors out on day 1 or 2. I think as soon as the Tasia finds their they are now playing out
the Ogun.
Oh yeah, so
Okay.
that is interesting. They are very low on resources already, but as soon as they found Bastion and a single resupply character, they are quite well set up again, and have a card disadvantage at that point. It doesn't really matter if you just find 1 or 2 key pieces of your deck and can play off of that.
That's right, but at this point, let's check it. So, I mean, for the next turn, it could be still awesome to just like stick on the Snoozer and on the Ogun, and don't need to play out at least the hand card, because being nice regions that you can play at least one of them, and being able to actually being ahead on the expedition still in this game state, that's amazing for our teacher right now. So maybe this could be just like a saver for the next turns, as you can say, when finally like the core cards that you need we're getting to hand, we're getting being able to actually being activated. So let's see if this would be the case. So the teacher we're starting right now, don't know which card will be back or left in hand. But as we can see, there's like the Snoozer Shroom and the Ogun are being out. So the Snoozer Shroom could either just like playing out on the companion side or on the hero side. But it's also like the case that the Jack Frost still being on the reserve, so being able to exhaust an additional card again in the reserve would just actually block a little bit the options for our teacher right now. So it's just like relying on the last hand card that we will see up there. So let's see what it will be.
Yeah, and for now, this Snoozer Shroom still getting 4 stats into that single forest expedition, looking quite strong. And we do see that immediate answer of the Jack Frost to sabotage that Augun. And now, as you mentioned, the last card for the Tasia is important, how this turn will play out. with that reaction, I'd expect you have some sort of some thoughts about this play, but it appears you're still eating. So yeah, that slow play of the flower tent into that resupply of the Monad root is quite nice at this point for the Tasia.
I find this was just like awesome that the flower 10 would be played out, and then afterwards the Monad druid would be there, so it would be just like enough to actually progress. Still interesting that like there was the decision of playing out the teamwork training and not just like to keep it. But
Yeah.
I don't know what else like left in the hand, because there's like sometimes there's like rare chance that actually Sigisma out of the 7 spells that played in the deck, there will be all on the hand. And then you're just like waiting and hoping that your small soldier token will do the job. But right now, this Flower Tent into the Okun is just like amazing, because this is like a participant chance. Okay, now it's just like getting sabotaged. No, it's actually the Okun that's getting sabotaged.
Yeah, I would have also probably preferred sabotaging the Flower Tent, because into this Ogun, you already know what you're playing against. And with the Flower Tent, there's the potential to just let your opponent search for these key targets in Holloway. Also, probably right now, Dracana is better than the Sneezer Shrooms.
Oh, we
When
will
we
see
do
the
see-
unique one coming out.
I hoped that this would maybe be a different unique, but it's still quite nice. It's a it has the same addition as the token generators, but instead of tokens, it's giving out fleeting to a target character.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing effect. Right now, still, if this card is being able to getting played out, I would say with this 5 mana, and I would assume, that something like an Aurora will be on the hand or something else. Our teacher again being able to just like single progress, and this is like something that our fans actually don't like at all. And Kevin asked Rune, where are you actually streaming your Aurora gameplay? Someone in the chat asking it. Maybe you can answer it directly.
I haven't streamed Varo gameplay in a while. I'm not streaming that too frequently. But if you're searching on Twitch, you can find me on I'm Runefolk. I'm doing a few streams a week. Like I think last week I did like 2 or 3. So you can maybe catch some of my games there. And also finally getting
additional flower
not only one, but
Muna Bastion.
2 Muna Bastions, and just solidifying your Holloway to stay on board. And it's still quite a sad turn for the Tasia here, because you not really get anything. Don't really get a lot of stats here to be played out. And I would imagine you to just play out your Spindle again and anchor your Alloy and say, well, if you have the double advance, you get the double advance. But I'm probably still advancing once as well. And I get to keep my Alloy to stick around for another day, and then the fleeting from the Fire Rabbit doesn't matter.
It's true. And I just realized it's actually with 2 mana being able to still progress through the Companion Expeditioner.
Yeah.
And this LRR, we're getting like 2 additional boosts, and we will see the Osma. Oh man, long time. Long time. But this is like not a good top deck to putting in the reserve. You want to have this Sandman in the hand for the upcoming turn. But I would say right now with those
the Sandman the Sandman is probably better from the reserve than from hand right now.
True, it's true, Spindle. But as we learned, there's like a bug that you actually don't need to target a character. So you don't need to put a character from yourself to sleep. Because I remember that I could also like always pass with the Sandman in Board Games Arena.
Okay, that's interesting.
As I remember correct. I mean, Kevin, if you want, we can also just like share it on the stream. It's okay. You can share it if you want, Runefolk. I can also put it in because I found you.
Yeah, I've got it already. Wait.
Okay.
But I think I don't have any vaults set up, so you'd have to catch me live on the game, so you can't rewatch any of my gameplay.
It's true.
Or is there you can also just maybe rewatch a single game from me that was played last week on the AQZ.
And there you have like the full gameplay experience of Faru.
Yeah.
And the
And
full
that was
experience of me getting completely exhausted.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you can watch it. That's right. I think the video should be still online. Is it?
Yes. So
It
on then you'd have to go to Paandyandy's channel to find at least one game. And there you also have some amazing boss lines from me on the stream.
Oh yeah. Almost over 4 hours. Almost like, yeah, okay, I will not continue to look at that. So, but going back to the game, as you can see, the next one played out, and with two Spindle and Bastion being on play with the Aloe not being able to, it's like impossible to actually remove anything from now,
Yeah.
especially for a Sigisma. There's like no chance of getting it, so GG to our teacher that's looking actually really, really bad, but somehow always managed to actually progress on at least one expedition. So that's like one of the most shorted things for an Sigisma, not being able to actually punish like those lineup for a deck, and just need to watch that's still being able to for that case, because there our teacher just could like actually rate for a better game or board state and draws. So GG. I like to see teacher is winning, because I'm saying the teacher is one of the hardest counter for Sigisma. I'm saying it right now because there are like not that many ways that you can actually, as we can see or could see like that. But it's like a personal opinion for me playing Sigisma or play against them. Do we have thoughts on that? Would you agree it? Or would you say...
Yeah, I think Asia isn't too... It feels like not too popular. So it feels like we're still seeing more Afanas and Sigismas. But yeah, playing against Tasias, probably still very scared. I'm probably still scared the same amount of Tasias as I'm scared about Sigismas. But yeah, definitely those are two very strong decks in my opinion currently. And there's argument that Tasia is also at the moment stronger than Afanas. I'm not too sure about that, but Tasia does have quite a decent game matchup into Afanas. So maybe it's just actually taking the top 2 spots, but I think it's not quite represented on the tournament results yet to actually solidify that Tasia is top 2.
Yeah. And if you want, we can watch another game. And there's actually about... Right, you can answer maybe a question. I'm curious on your thoughts on Akisha. What are your thoughts on Akisha, Rune?
Oh, well, it depends on what type of Akasha you're running. There are like, I'd say 3 different types of Akasha lists that you can run. There's one that Newbie Boy was running. That one was looking pretty much like a Afanas build, but so you were based on spells, but it was utilizing the after use a lot more. And I'm really not sure how Newbie Boy was so consistent with their Akasha list, because it just looked like an Afanas list, but without Afanas. Then there's the archetype that is probably the most interesting to a lot of players. That is like the exhaust line, where you try to play around exhausting cards and playing around Balasenkas. Probably is the unique you're looking for in those matchups or those lists. And there's my favorite Akasha, type of Akasha. There's Hostage Akasha, where you just try to stall out as long as possible and win through small steps. And yeah, that is of course my favorite.
Amazing deck.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on Hostage Akasha or the other types?
Actually, to be honest, I was never running into an Hostage Akasha.
Okay, interesting.
Maybe like one time, but because you were talking so much about how to play it, I was just like actually being able to know, okay, I just rate and keep my most important cards in hand, and then that's it. And then I
Yeah.
won somehow. Like, but in general, like, I think it's like going for me like in the thought of hostage decks in general, because yeah, like in all other card games, you have always like card decks that just like playing slowly and don't have like the general like win condition. And in Outright especially, it was most of the time that you had like this Lyra Festival deck type lists. But it was like either you have like a rushing win deck list at some point, and where you just like was hoping that nothing got removed, or you had like fan, or maybe I remember there was like Freeloader, that was like running an Ivanka Lyra Festival list back in the days, I remember, and was also actually being able to getting 5-1 or 4-2. And so this is like a new deck type of actually also somehow like winning games. And I like that because I also like to play like on other card games, especially those deck lists. In Outright, I didn't found like that many excitement for that for now. But in general, I would say that's like it's like a cool deck list idea that you
Okay.
brought
Yeah.
on, and that you're like continuing on working, and also like others that joining in, because I remember like the most favorite deck for all those who playing Pokemon TCG was for me Snorlax, and it was just like Snorlax style where you play at one single Pokemon, and then you just like discarding the deck from the opponent until you cannot draw anything, and then you're losing on Pokemon. And it's actually funny because you don't have like cards on Pokemon that's saying discard 7 cards or 14 cards like in Magic. In the best case, you're discarding 2 cards per turn, and then you're just like discarding the complete hand, and don't make the opponent being able to actually play anything out. And then he's just like watching, actually you're just like watching each other on the table, and just like waiting until the game's finished. And this was the best local experience ever, where actually the most I would say like the most talk active players just getting frustrated on your deck list and just like conceding. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So I understand the feeling. And let's see if we can. Oh, we can always. Oh no, we cannot go to the next one. But where you lose to a single removal. Yeah, that's true. So Akisha, but I think you could also play around on removals, right? On the Akisha list at some point, or you need then you just accept it and like okay.
You
GG.
oftentimes just accepted that they oftentimes sometimes in a lot of matchups you are able to play around a single removal, but if there's 2 removals in a row and when you want to play your category, sometimes you can also just make the decision, well, I'm expecting my opponents to play removal and you're trying just to stall, and you kind of try to stall to 12 mana, so you can play your draw spells plus your celebration days at the same turn to potentially loop through your deck, so you can just redraw your celebration days and win that way. But yeah, definitely playing together with the category oftentimes feels safer because you can just play out your celebration days more often and you don't have to draw through your entire deck as early.
Okay. So here, guys. I mean, at any point, you could also start to create some YouTube content with Akisha lists or like hostage lists.
Yeah, I've actually thought about that for Akisha, but I've started a script and then it kind of went nowhere, and I didn't know what to do, and kind of just stopped. But maybe I can work again on that again someday.
I mean, step 1, build Akisha hostage. Step 2, hoping there will not be any removal. Step 3, win.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, guys,
step 4,
sorry
getting
for summarizing
hostage
the video.
yourself.
Yeah, and then hostage yourself, and then not being able to finish at some point.
Yeah.
This could be the case, yes. So we still got like 2 to 3 games left. So if you want, oh, there's actually table 30 that's almost like not finished, like on 50%.
Okay.
We can take a look. Oh, it's been in
Sure.
a fairness against Lindy.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, the good old days of playing Story Cycle in a Magic game and the opponent just wants to smack you. Yeah, there was like I would say the most frustrated play in Magic. So I was like playing a lot of Commander back in the days, I actually started with Commander. I was playing like Standard for 2 weeks, and then everyone was playing Commander in our local store, and then I was starting to play it, and then everyone was just like playing Commander, and there was like a friend of mine that just played Mulligan decks, and in the multiplayer game where you have cards that like getting additional things, he was being able to sometimes Mulligan 30 cards from each player, and it was totally funny because it was so funny. And then there was actually another friend that started to play a deck where you only play from your discard pile, and then he was like completely countering it, and then he was like, I don't know, it was like the most expensive deck that he ever played because he just wanted to get rid of it, and then he was just like spending, I don't know, 400 500 euros just like to play against it, and then he played it once, and then our friend was like changing the deck, and then the deck became almost like useless. That was so funny. Yeah.
That wolf just ate that poor mage dancer.
Yeah.
But yeah, that wolf is now also just completely asleep. So that hero side, the maw will just be eaten. That is quite unfortunate.
Oh,
Wait.
goodbye.
Oh, what?
But couldn't you?
What just happened? What just happened? How did that Amarok not sacrifice that jellyfish? What?
Because there's the beauty steep, you could
What?
just like.
What? Huh?
But why didn't you? Takagi was a misclick. Because with 2 Baba Ispas and those morphs, you could just like be able to wait for the next turn, right? Or I'm wrong.
Maybe they. I'm not sure. But how did that maw not get sacrificed? It was spawned into the Amarok that says whenever anything joins this expedition, sacrifice a character. Oh, it's sacrifice. It's not sacrificing that character. It can choose the sacrifice, and that's why it sacrificed itself.
Oh,
I didn't know they could work like that.
I also didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I thought they are always auto sacrificing whatever joins them, but you can the other one you can even choose to sacrifice something in the other expedition.
It's interesting.
That is
I didn't know
cool.
that. But what I know is that we actually can go directly into round 6, and I just want to say on the final round, but yes, the one need to go. But it's actually crazy because I have the feeling that the tournament is like actually pretty fast for today.
Yeah,
like the games are like actually getting pretty fast. That's amazing.
And the cool thing for today, we have one definite winner, and we already see Tempesta Lanesh and DSL Wheels on top. One of the probably currently best players.
I mean,
we've seen Wheels on Thursday, I believe, already on final table. Weren't they even winning that one? I'm not too sure.
I was playing against him today. It's funny. The only chance that I actually play against all those amazing players from the tournament is playing on Arena, and then it's always like oh hey, aren't you that? And I'm like, yeah. And aren't you? Yes. And then oh, that's amazing. Did you got the prize pack from me? If not, please. Because there was like one or two times where I was like writing it on BGA and then got never an answer, and then I forgot it like for myself because I was like, yeah, I think I sent it, but then yeah, it's just like getting on later time. I wanted to ask if we want to watch table 1 because then we can see one who's definitely go to 6-0.
Yeah,
if you want to. I mean, otherwise we can also continue on mid tables if you want to, but
I'd be down to just go to the top tables now for round 6.
I think it would be quite interesting because one of them definitely will go to the final match, and it would be also funny because if Freeloader is actually losing the game, then there is actually potentially only one player, and oh, that seems not good. That seems not good. Oh,
I mean,
you're not seeing the gameplay, guys. This is also seems not good, but now you can see clearly that our offenders only played in Conjuring Seal.
Yeah, I mean, this is
it's okay.
I mean, this definitely gets punished by an early Grand Endeavor, but maybe Tempest looked at the decklist and says, well, there's no Grand Endeavor, and therefore I just outgrind that Sigisma. Or they think, well, even with that Conjuring Seal day 1, I am still able to beat out Grand Endeavors, and I also love just playing Conjuring Seal day 1 for an Arthana, so I'm not disagreeing with just opening that on day 1.
That's true.
This
But
matchup is still very, very hard because all your characters you're playing out are very weak when you first play them, and the Sigisma can just remove them easily since you're not playing many characters, and you're very prone to early removals, so you can't really contest your expeditions afterwards anymore.
So we will see that the Arthanas will be the starting player, and let's hope that he try at least a character for the upcoming turn.
I mean, there should be characters.
Yeah.
The best characters right now will probably be 1-cost characters, I'd imagine. But yeah, I'm interested to see how Tempest Lineage plays this now.
Yeah, let's see if the C tier deck we're getting a chance against the Arthanas, against Sigisma. But right now we will see the Mage Sensor will be playing out. But I just wanted to mention that actually it was like a funny quote, as I realized, because actually the most hardest play for Arthanas is if you're actually being able to just remove all the characters and then there are actually like no characters left. Because sometimes Arthanas, I would not say for Temtems, but there are like a lot of Arthanas that I know. If you're seeing like one character into reserve and 2 cards being left in hand, then there's like a high chance it's like the only character that they're hoping to boost up until the end. And this is like sometimes, yeah, the thing that could happen as an Arthanas actually, but I would say with the magical training, it should be not that quite. But still there. Actually, I would just start to say a teamwork training actually would help, because it's either like playing the mage sensor now for blocking it, or just like passing and hoping that the next turns we're getting a little bit better for now. But it will be just like blocking out the expeditions. So one mage sensor will actually going to the discard pile for our Arthana, sadly. But our Sigisma again being able to move one forward and being able at the next turn just to play out both cards from reserve and then already like an additional card from hand. So this would be again a strong lineup that's coming to the field. So let's see what our finals can do, because and off you go. At that point, sometimes it's just like not enough to actually blocking or progressing on both expeditions. In that case, so let's see.
Off you go for Arthanas. There are pretty much only 2 targets that you ever want to hit with an off you go. So usually as an Arthanas, you just automatically want to or put to mana your off you goes. But I've come to realize that actually it's still very valuable to off you go either Orders Attorneys or token generators that your opponent's Sigisma can play. So maybe they are keeping that around. But I also want to mention that last turn that teamwork training was quite telegraphed.
Yeah.
Because playing out that, or not contesting that mage dancer and saying, well, I'm going 1 for 1 is pretty much always saying, well, I do have the answer for that mage dancer. So Tempest was probably already prepared for that teamwork training. And we do see some, I believe, some new uniques for Tempest here. And this one is just drawing a card on play, and also is basically the sleight of hand effect from reserve as well. So interesting choice to see new uniques for Tempest here.
And it's also quite interesting because it's like not the like rare time that we see like a unique like that with a draw conditioner, for example, like say on Arthanas. And I would like maybe our retired Arthanas player is still in the chat. It could maybe like a small answer, but I was like asking myself when I'm watching those that like more and more people, I mean, it will be not only the reason because like money wise that you don't want to spend like 300. Yeah, it's me, the retire guy. You didn't wrote it, but it would be like also funny. I was like questioning because seeing those cards a little bit more and more is like a reason for that. If you just like could choose and that you're actually choosing like a card with draw condition over like a spindle harvester at any point for the Arfanas, is there like a reason for the change? Because I remember that Tempest actually got quite cool cards to put something back from the reserve to hand, if I remember correct, like
Yeah,
the latest deck list. So I'm just like confused. It's like either okay, I can sell all those cards for like 2 billion euros and play a little bit like weaker uniques and still being able to win. So, or is there like a reason behind it? So maybe retired guy, if you're here, you can answer that, please, grandpa.
yeah. And I do
Yeah.
really dislike using that second teamwork training already. That Sigisma is now completely out of resources. The Arfanas is still getting the 1-for-1 and a potential anchor onto that moth. They can now create with that moth to a flame. And now just the Sigisma being already on 1 mana with 5 on 1 card with only 5 mana. I'd say if this was already 1 mana later on 6 mana, you'd feel a bit more comfortable just next turn stopping to mana. But I think on 5 mana it's quite tough to stop manaing.
You people like, yeah. But thank you so much, Clem. But yeah, I remember during the days where you played, only Athanas with like the spindle were being able to actually win the games. So it's okay. It's okay. My old man, if we, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And here we are. Yeah, it's Runefolk and Paandyandy. You know us. we're actually your teammates. You know AQZ. You know the team.
Never
Are you
heard of
part
them.
of it? You never heard of them? Yeah, it's just like
No.
Mysterium. Big Mysterium. No,
Yeah.
but actually it was like a nice quote with the teamwork training. I would say like I have like a feeling that the Sigisma, does the Sigisma has a Grunt Under War in the list? Did you check?
I can check real quick. I
Oh,
haven't.
that would be so awesome. Thank you so much. Because if we could like check that, then maybe like progressing on those early turns is like nice against the Fanas, because Grunt and the Row right now would be just like enough to stall the game maybe long enough that it's not getting like removed. So let's see if this would be the case. Does he have it?
It's I can tell you in a second, but they definitely didn't mana this turn, so there's no Grand Endeavor coming this turn.
Oh,
But in
okay.
general, yes, there are 2 Grand Endeavors in the list for the
True.
Sigisma. And we do see that Orders Monolith Legate now
Yeah.
coming out, and
Oh.
that is a decent card, but usually at this point the Arfanas is usually overloading their reserve anyway.
Yeah.
And now they're just getting rid of a card that the Sigisma chooses instead of one of the cards that they choose. So yeah, it's still a sabotage, but at this point the Legate isn't as threatening as it can sometimes be when you only have one card that's going into reserve that would be very valuable to you, that's then just getting sabotaged and you can't really do anything about it. But yeah, at this point it's still looking tough for the Sigisma here. Now probably playing 1 and 2 cost is the best thing the Sigisma could do, but if you're doing that, you're also just overloading your reserve and losing resources that way, and yeah, that's not the greatest. Also, Tiny Jail is currently not available for anything, and
it would be a teamwork training again, and would be again a progress. So getting rid of all 3 copies, and now as you're right, the Tiny Chair is the only card left that could be possibly played, but with that at least our Sigisma would be able to getting rid of one of those cards back in the reserve. And I would guess it's like one of those bets. Hopefully, maybe like the Sleight of Hand. And let's see if this would be the case. But now actually it's been nice option to just like play Grunt and the War and just like hoping that there will be like not any remove that coming out of those deck lists. Now Temmet needs to actually discard one card, and then of course it will be the Conjuring Seal for that moment. getting additional true cards. So let's see if A.W.O.L actually start to discard one card a mana. And it will be, and now I would take the guess that the Grand and the will now come. Yes, yeah.
If there's the Grand Endeavor this turn, and Tempest has the answer in Studious Disciple plus the Banishing Gate,
that's true.
They are still going up one expedition, so definitely
maybe like 2 Grand Endeavor being on hand. Would be. I mean, at that point, not mannering, there's like still like a chance.
And I believe Tempest is by now. Yeah, Tempest is by now on one Banishing Gate, and they cut small steps completely from their list, which I can definitely agree with. And interestingly enough,
not good.
I'm seeing a triple Moth to a Flame in the list for Tempest. I've started cutting my Moth to a Flames in my list and play more one-cost characters with the Moth Larvas. But if you're running Slider fans, I can definitely see the Moth to a Flame be very valuable, since you get that 2-cost Moth to a Flame from reserve.
Yes.
And we see one of the nicest cards for Sigisma at this point, with a Rallying Call, just passing the turn over to the Afanas.
Yes, that's right. And to see that, it's like City Model if it gets, so the Flamme could be a possibility chance to actually reduce and the spell cost for the upcoming turns, and City 2 Pharaoh will be played out. So I would say right now, in the combination with the Flamme and 4 hand cards left, this could be actually a chance of our Afanas to double progress at this point.
Yeah, definitely.
But let's see if this would be actually the case. So let's see what our Sigisma got left in the hand. So maybe it's City Grand Endeavor. We will see it when you passing. When you pass the game. When you pass the plate, then it will be. I'm telling you guys. It is. Yeah.
But if there was a Grand Endeavor, it was played one turn ago, so yeah.
We would say it should be. But
currently on the Tumult, the Sigisma is currently still winning, so the decisions on where to commit is even harder. But of course, Afana still having 4 mana left, can basically do whatever to win probably even both expeditions at this point. And also there are 2 Joyrides in the deck for
it's the Sandman.
Yeah, but it's not doing a whole lot. It's sleeping a 1/1/1, or it's sleeping the Legate. Probably sleeping the Legate here is a bit better, and that's what they end up doing.
So and in that case, I would say just like it would just like starting off to maybe the Flamer would be enough, and then like the big question, which card to actually, but also like a beauty. There would be like some card options to actually get it, but the Flamer would actually being able to. Oh no!
To actually advance, they need as well a healer.
I was putting it on the Mount Richard, and it's Banishing Gate. Okay.
They need that's interesting. So they're giving over the advance this turn, unless they do still have a 1-cost spell to play together with that Flamel support ability. And that's what they're going to do. So that's quite a nice play to get rid of the resources from the Sigisma. And they were definitely prepared for that Grand Endeavor this turn, since they did have the Studious Disciple and the Banishing to answer that
that's true.
Grand Endeavor. But now the Grand Endeavor isn't as threatening anymore, because as soon as the Grand Endeavor is played, you get the double advance, and you're then just even on the game. And I think a late game situation like this is definitely favoring the Afanas. And it's cool to see that Tempest was prepared for that Grand Endeavor turn.
Yeah, that's funny to saw that. And right now, I would say it's like if A.W.O.L, I would say as a player of it right now and also team, this is like a high chance that he actually like check out the deck list and knows maybe there's like no small step giant leap. If I'm getting this right now, the Grand Endeavor, I'm just playing it, and then the game is done. And not directly done. I'm sorry, but like at this point, we see like that the mage dancer will be played out, so our monolithic still being able to stick around there. But I would say just like in the case that still like the Topher would be in play, that there's like a high chance that the FNS again would be able to just like blocking and double progressing. Because at that point with the mage dancer, some cards that actually boosting it up to eternity.
It feels like eternity. It's not quite, but it definitely always feels like, yeah.
It's telling me YouTube is not getting enough data. What is that?
What's happening?
I don't know.
Okay. And we do see that Sabotage already coming out for the Sigisma. Being left with 3 mana and most likely getting rid of the 2 fairy, since it's just an extra body for the Ephanas. And now Timpet has to somehow... Well, they can still just go 1-for-1 this turn and just try to win next turn, but they do have a second Mage Dancer, and that's looking quite nice for them.
Oh, it's amazing. No, the stream's still working. Yeah.
But they do have a second Mage Dancer.
Okay, the stream's still working. So all good, all good. I don't know what YouTube's saying. But anyway. Let's jump directly back to the game. And what we can see right now is that this will be the turn of the Sigismas. They got 3 mana left, so at least like one card that potentially play and see Jack Frost actually. And this is like one of the cases where I believe that he is just like hoping now that this magical training was one of the 2, but it's the helping hand, and with that helping hand,
should be
being able to actually, ooh, that would be a hard helping hand.
I'm not quite. I think it's not quite a double advance always. There needs to be another spell, but
yes.
Oh no, it's it's actually always a double advance here. Oh no, it's just a single advance here, but they do get 2 draws out of this. So yeah.
No, it's double advance.
It's double. Oh, because the gate is on 5 mountain only.
Yes, it's
okay,
true.
Yeah. So now getting the sabotage plus the exhaust for next turn onto those 2 mage dancers. So the Ephanas has to find a different way to close out the game. But they just draw 2 cards off of these mage dancers and are now looking to just play out other characters from hand.
It's true. And I would say at this point, this would be a favor for our Ephanas. I mean, even if the Jack Frost were being able to getting the Mage Dancer exhausted, and I'm just like in that case, it would be the 3rd Mage Dancer. I mean, at that point, it's like a rare chance, like a really, really rare chance that this Mage Dancer is actually the only character that our Ephanas right now has to offer to getting to play. But at some point, I would say it would be so funny, but it's actually just like the 2 fairy that will come to play, getting rid of the Order Spy, and maybe the Sigisma was just like thinking about that it would be happen. So we will see actually Baba Yaga, and when I leave the expedition zone, draw a card. If you put a card to reserve. But I would guess for now, with 4 mana left, this would be not enough. Getting the additional helping hand.
Yes, basically the double advance and Timpet taking it.
Yeah, so Timpet taking it, and will be one of the players that getting undefeated in the final round. And let's see if Fortnite actually got this game. So GG, congrats. Always like the most common matchup, still like amazing to see. And Ronald also being able to finish it out, so it will be a final match between.
So we're seeing that matchup again with Sigisma against.
Yeah. Oh man, it will be so amazing. Yeah. Guys, just
Definitely.
like for you in case, cause the player size increased that large, and last week the OWL reached 165 players. If I'm correct, it was
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, or 163 showed up, but 165 are requested, and the rounds increased. So instead of 6 rounds, we're going to watch 7 rounds. But it's amazing because for today, because it seems like that we're not taking need to wait too long actually for getting to an additional round. So, but if you run in that case, we still could watch another game before we go to the final match.
Yeah, sure.
I would ask if we could go to maybe. Oh, look at that! There's someone that names Geraldo Kiel, and there's oh, I know him.
Okay.
I know Kiel. I've bought some unique.
Which table?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was in a complete different table 16. Table 16.
Okay.
Oh my, that's crazy. I remember when I asked him if he's from Germany because of the word Kiel, and he was like, "No, it's like a company in Chile here." I was like, "Oh, crazy!" And he was actually like, I don't know, maybe. Oh, guys, maybe I will find it during the time that we're searching for it. Yes, I have him. So it was. I've bought my first uniques from him. It was Orders
cool.
Trooper. If you control 3 or more characters, create 2 Orders Recruit such tokens in my expedition. And the other one was, you create 2 soldier tokens when it comes into play. And when you play a non-token character, if you control 4 or more characters, you're creating 2 soldier tokens in your expedition. That was amazing. That's
Okay,
funny.
yeah.
And it was 500 for both. Oh, yeah, that's expensive, man. I didn't remember that price. I didn't remember that price. Seeing the crown on the raw, okay, that's nice. So GG to our Sigisma. So hi,
Yeah.
Spam. I mean, Kier, you would be on the same space if you wouldn't sold me those cards. So I would say, is it now finished? No. Still got 1 game would be left, right? Where it
Yeah,
is?
maybe even
It's
more.
here. It's Caleb. Oh, maybe Caleb. Caleb was actually
Okay.
getting a view record on Twitch with a local tournament.
Oh,
Almost 200 viewers watched the tournament
that
on
is
Twitch on
crazy. Yeah.
first day. It was glaube it was glaube ich. It was on the same day when we cast the AQZ Championship series.
Yeah, it's quite possible. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it
we do
was.
see a Stappish mirror match here. That is.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sad we
amazing.
didn't get to see
I
more
need
of this.
I need to get something to train code on a second. Oh man, I need to leave so much. So, whoop. Okay. Whew. Fastest return. I mean, I'm never leaving the stream right now because you're still seeing me. But
Yeah.
I can tell you something. I will actually. How can I say it? I will get a new place, so my background on the stream will change. It's because I'm trying to get a smaller table, because the table is just too big. Because I actually don't need that much space. And oh, hi Felix Siedler. I'm sorry, we're still streaming, so it's not possible. I'm so sorry. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, goodbye, guys. Just kidding. We're going to the final table. And oh, there is a thing you dislike the player. Why did I dislike him? Maybe because he was playing a Fanas.
Maybe.
Maybe. I'm sorry, Tempest, but you're still an amazing guy. I know he's actually pretty nice, but I just like block every Afanas player at some
Yeah,
point. Yes.
understandable. I block everyone but Afanas players because I want to play into them and make them suffer. So,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
That's okay,
a
I
bit
guess.
of a
I mean,
different
I remember like the
approach
biggest
to the game.
case where we realized that one of our own teammates blocked you before he joined. And then we were like
Yeah.
on stream and they were like, I cannot join the table. I was like, why?
Yeah.
Because I'm blocked. I was like, oh, that's not good.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Sometimes happening. Sometimes you win
Yeah.
some, sometimes you lose some.
Yeah.
No, but actually I'm getting like a smaller table, and with that smaller table I can actually change the room where I'm streaming in. So maybe, guys. This
Then
in
we
the
don't see
background.
your entire altered card collection in the background anymore.
I can turn slowly the camera, then you can see it. So this is like one of the bookshelves, and if you're going like to the upper case, that's like all rares, and one stable is just like unscanned uniques actually. That I
Unscanned uniques. Oh,
yeah, sometimes
can you show them on stream maybe?
if I
Are there any interesting uniques?
actually
Just
yes, yeah.
asking.
Yeah, they are
Cool.
actually interesting uniques. I can show them, but it's like those sometimes I'm so that was like back in the days where I was like selling like regularly like rares and uniques, and then I just like got a restock from the first chapter, but there were like so many cards, and when I need to stop it for the work, that was like the leftovers are just like staying there. And sometimes I just putting them together and bring them to somewhere so that people actually can buy them before scan. And talking about the scan, we should scan the board now because the final match we're coming up again, Sigisma against the Fairness, and the Fairness actually starting with an off you go. That's an interesting choice.
That opening hand for the Afanas either seems
Three
to
off
be
you goes.
very bad.
Three off you goes.
Yeah, it seems to be either very bad or it's just trying to get out as much resources from the Sigisma as possible in the early games. And yeah, the Sigisma just saying, no, I'm not going to commit any more resources. Maybe the Sigisma's fearing to run out of cards early on into the game and now favors the card advantage over progressing. And I kind of like that.
Yeah.
From both players, actually.
So
that definitely shows the level of skill that we're on already. That is Sigisma that's likely able to progress, that does choose to not do it. Maybe it's also just that they're running removal spells already in the hand. So that maybe they couldn't have played anything. But
yes,
I definitely liked both plays here, even though they seem like not the strongest ones.
That's true. But still like nice to see that just like the front room mechanic will be left over. Just like a possibility, just like to keep it on reserve if there's like not a true fairy.
Being is one of the Sigisma players that's not running any permanents in their deck, so they're not really getting the value out of their supportability. But yeah, they're just valuing the sheer resupplies of their uniques, and yeah, those uniques are still looking way too strong, and I still really like them. They're just, for anyone that doesn't know them, these uniques are just 1/1s, and they're reading the text whenever non-token character joins the expeditions. Resupply.
And right now again, it's just like the case that the Sigisma could just like pass again and being able to progress forward. So it's just like a higher and higher chance that the starting hand for tablet just like not looking good, but we will see the first unique. And when another non-token joins your expedition, resupply. Okay, that's an interesting shot, but I think that's okay because the Orders Attorney could be played out and double progress. And getting the Orders Overseer right there.
Potentially getting the block. That is quite nice.
But also just like keep it for the next upcoming turn. The Orders Overseer. That's amazing. So double progress for our Sigisma right now, and for our Afanas. It's just like again one character, just like hoping or just like an off you go. That's interesting. So let's see how this game will take. at the end. And Ko, you actually didn't miss anything because right now, maybe we will see that Ziggy again win everything. But luckily for me as a Sigisma player, Warlights don't run like any landmarks, so then I can say that Crown Underworld is not a OP supercard because you can also win without it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you
maybe
can just run with absurd resupply uniques.
yeah, I would say the
that's
resupply
also
uniques are like the actual problem, not the mass token spammers. I would
yeah.
say those are like the problem, like the real
I
problem.
mean, if I could play a Sigisma of my choice, I would definitely always play this list of woollets over any common token spam list.
Yeah.
But I think adding these 1/1 resupply uniques was also very hard. But yeah, woollets made it work, and it's now dominating the online scene with those. That
I'm,
is
I'm
very
also
cool.
like in the stuff of I never find something like that.
Yeah.
So, so it's kind
Already
of
that off you
funny.
go coming out for Tempet. But of course, that is a favorable mana trade for the Sigisma here.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, yeah, there's like not any stuff. That's funny. There are like some uniques, and I'm sometimes asking myself, is it just like that Trotter uniques? Or how could I find that uniques? Because if you go like
Yeah.
to the marketplace, for example, then you're seeing like the next 200 token spammers, but none of that cards like in any faction, like those really, really awesome cards. But then I'm like, maybe this is like a card that actually just like getting traded or sold like a local play because the players like don't play online regularly. Maybe this could be the case, but at the end, what we can see, it's again a progression for our Sigisma getting closer and closer to the game. And right now, this could be a possibly just like a Crown and the Raw angle for our Sigisma. So let's see if our Sigi is taking the chance.
Yeah. And both players are very equal on cards from hand right here. So yeah, I think this Sigisma will still having 4 cards left on 6 mana, so they're still able to ramp, looking to be in a good position, and this Afna still looking to come back into this game somehow. And I'm interested to see how they're trying to do this.
Yes, and starting off with the foundry mechanic, and now the mage stands are getting boost after boost, but there is like one teamwork training that actually getting rid of that. So let's see if this would be the case. So for our Athena, still 3 mana left, being able to just like as we can see from the reserve, actually deciding to play the magical training. That's interesting. So I would say with 3 mana, there is like a high chance that our Sigisma could possibly just like block the expedition or even just like progressing forward at some point. But in the hardest case, our Sigisma could just like play out a monolith flickgate, getting rid of the mage tensor and drawing an additional card. Let's see what the case would be at the end, but still like a high chance of double progressing for our Sigisma here. Or just like to even block
I'm
it.
also quite surprised to see the pass, or basically pass, coming out from the Afanas just playing that 3 mana magical training.
Just like reloading, okay. But then it's just like the case. So what is our affairs just like try to keep in hand? I'm not sure. I don't know actually. Maybe right now the helping hand with a second mage dancer and then just like go crazy like the last turn. But there we go. It's probably the teamwork training. The mage dancer will removed, and now it will be a double progression, and it seems almost like a really really good game for our Sigisma. And being funny because both of them just like running most of the, I would say, like popular cards of both of the deck lists, the Small Step Giant Leap and the Crown Endeavor, where some people might say this is like just like a free entrance for a win and for getting some elo points. And both of them just like not running those cards. It's like completely different, and it's like interesting to see. And I would take this table as a prooflet, so that something like that will never happen. And we will see the Jack Frost coming out for the Companion Expeditioner. So the mage hands are actually just like got exhausted. So let's see if the Afana still got something left to hand. And we could be surely that this would be the case. It's actually the 2 fairy, alright.
Now I really like that sabotage onto the Audis Attorney.
Yeah.
Saying, well, if you have a way to, if you don't have a way to finish this now, you're gonna be starved on resources.
Yes.
So yeah, I kind of like that, but of course that's leaving open the companion side for now, and the Thanos has to find a way to beat this.
And there will be okay, the slate of hands, so the off you go will go back to hand. And there will be okay, this would be a combination right now, as we can see. So a combination of
super nice.
And there we go. It would be an also with a resupply. It would be another foundry mechanic, and I would say for now this would be actually that's completely enough on both sides. In the combination with the moth to a flame plus off you go.
Yeah.
Or I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think this should be enough to block. There's a 4/4 more then, and actually it is enough that foundry mechanic. You can't get over these 5 water stats.
That's true. Yeah, that's right.
There has to be, on top of that moth to a flame, there has to be, I think, beauty sleep and one more card, probably. But yeah, I'm not sure if anything else does something here.
Let's see.
Yeah. You do see that first play moth to a flame now, but do they have the other answers? There has to be 2 exact cards in their hand. We know there's an off you go, but these other 2 cards have probably maybe also off you maybe also just there could also be potential for Joyride this turn plus any other spell, I believe. Joyride would be going up to 6, and then one more spell is going to 7. So Joyride plus a spell is also enough. But I think there always have to be 2 cards, yeah.
Yes.
And there's only that off you go, and that isn't enough, sadly. So the Sigisma is taking this one. And they're winning by a single water point.
Yeah, by a single water point. Rare to see. So GG to our Sigisma, GG to Woods to actually getting undefeated in a 7th round tournament with over 100 players. That's amazing. Amazing game. And as we can see right now, there's still some games going up. So if you want, we can directly also jump to table 2 if you want.
This was quite a fast finals.
Yes. Nice to see, but at that case, almost seeing like an Athanas couldn't do like anything for 3 rounds straight. That's like hard to watch because then like surely after like the second turn with the Athanas, you were like, okay, at some point with that many draws, there was like not any card that could help out in this situation. But nice that Wallace took the chance and just like finish it out. So if you want, we can still continue watching some other games. And
do you have a table in mind?
Just like table 2, maybe.
Okay, sure.
So we're getting like to the second final, I'm sorry, to the second table, and boy,
beautiful matchup.
The best matchup I could actually imagine. But I mean, the order spy is funny if you control token sabotage and sabotage. It's just like double sabotage. It's like actually amazing against Sigisma.
And remembering Victor Mada's list, I think they are running double token generators, so there are definitely some strong uniques available to this bottom Sigisma here.
That's true. So getting the Sandman, putting the Baba Yaga to sleep, and then just like pass SC. Or just like using the railing call. All right. All right. Amazing play.
I'm not sure if I
Right,
like the rallying call. Yeah, actually, you'd have to play rallying call here on Baba because otherwise you're not winning.
Yes, it's
But
true.
you could stall out the turns and be fine being down one for now and not discard that way. But yeah, I'd say in this point getting 0 for 0 is maybe a bit better than going 1 for 1.
Yes.
But yeah, it's still fine for both players here.
Yeah, it's true.
And actually, Victor Mada already being down on mana. I haven't noticed that before.
So getting to see the Sandman played on the companion side. We will see an Overseer, nice card. Being played on the hero side right now. So city possibility just like answer with the Baba Yaga, but then there would be still the Tiny Chill in combination with the Baba Yaga, and also a high chance that the last hand card would be also in character, or maybe like an additional removal for that game, for the turn. So our Sigisma needs to rethink now how to do it, like potentially.
They still for Victor Mada like the just playing out that Baba Yaga into Hero Expedition, just threatening to win that one and forcing an answer from Hinledel. But no, playing out that Auto Spy first, getting rid of that opposing Baba Yaga and tying up that Hero Expedition for now and just being able to play out their Baba Yaga from reserve as well. And the upper Sigisma now has to make a decision. And we do see that first play of a Ozma that is quite nice, resupplying a token spammer for the Sigisma here. And that one is quite nice, just creating... I'd say you're not really using the from hand effect and just using this Alchemist as a token spammer. But yeah, you're now forcing to basically discard 2 cards from reserve for this for the Sigisma, since there's no way they are able to contest this companion expedition at this point. And yeah.
And the Tiny J will be played out, so let's see which character.
That doesn't really matter anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
But there's a big time difference already. Victor Mada's down to 1 minute, while the opponent is still on 9 minutes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true. Maybe the time will be the biggest issue right now for the second tip. Yeah. So actually the order spy we're getting, to the reserve. So both players being able to actually progress on 1 expedition each. So for our bottom Sigisma, Victor Mada has the chance to actually close the game out because 1 expedition behind. Now we will see which card actually our upper Sigisma will remove and would be the Orders Overseer. So at least got a Token Spammer for 1 mana left with the combination of an Ozma. So being able to at least potentially just like resupply for the upcoming turn. And I would guess that this, would be the starting off for the Sigisma right now. And here we go. It's just directly straight off of hand, the Tiny Chill.
Yeah.
And I would say with that, this is like almost like a finisher for that. So
yeah, almost.
So this is like the TG for Yenadel. So Victor Mada just like got quite enough time to actually finishing it out. So the auto spy will be played. It will be another also. Oh, that would be like actually a really strong turn if the Category Alchemist would be played at that rate. But
Yeah.
here we go.
There's that
The
boost in
Athena. Yeah.
Athena.
So GG to Victor Moda, being the winner of the second table for the tournament. And let's see if this was actually also the last game that happened in general of the
I don't think so.
Yeah, there's like
Still on
so
790
fast right now.
Yeah.
So if you want, we can directly jump into the third table. So we have
Sure.
every other table right now. It's Ruby Hurricane against Mouse. Ruby Afanas against Fel, and as we can see also right here.
We haven't
sticking
seen too many
equipment.
fans today, right?
Yeah, that's true. But I'm asking why. Where are all the fans, player?
Yeah, come back. We like you.
Yeah, you were awesome. What awesome to see, to watch your game. I mean, we saw an awesome fan on the last, like on the AQZ with El Rui, with this crazy fan that he
Yeah.
played, and also we saw a genetic today. But it's true. So, let's see.
I think for now this hero side looks quite good for the Afanas to win on, maybe even block. I think a Mouth to a Flame together with a probably what it would need to be a helping hand would be going 2-for-1 for the Afanas at this point, and we do see that Mouth to a Flame here now. So let's see what else is in hand for the Afanas if they can get that 2-for-1 here.
And we'll see the pass. So, oh yeah, there will be another Off You Go. And of course, it will hit the aloe vera that got anchored.
Yeah.
And afterwards, yeah, we'll be just like going to the morph. So double progression for the Afanas, potential chance of just like small step giant leap, maybe also for Mouse. With Mouse running one copy of small step.
I am not sure. I don't have the deck list on me
then
right
we'd
now.
be surprised.
But we will be surprised here. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be surprised though. So Hurricane now just like discarding one card. But it seems if you're just like thinking that long, maybe. Maybe there is like none at all.
Yeah. But that fan made a fast decision on mana wings. Maybe they have it. When getting having 2 Off You Goes in reserve here for this fan, they definitely don't have small step. I think most of the fan lists started cutting
don't run it like anymore. That's true.
these.
But there would be like a Conjuring Sea, so maybe now. Maybe we'll see. Still see a small step, and the Magpang Hoarder will come directly into play. So one of those Off You Goes could be like a chance to play it out at least at the end. And now our fan are still thinking, so I would say there is like still not any small step giant leap right now being there on the list.
But for potential tiebreaker, this Afanas right now is definitely set up a lot better, since they do have that card advantage by now, and the fan still has to play out one of their probably has to play out one of their Off You Goes from reserve, and those characters both have fleeting at the moment, so they are not looking like they have too many cards going into tiebreaker. So I'd favor that Afanas if they're managing to find a 1-for-1 here this turn.
So, tough decision right now for the Afanas. Because it seems it's just like, I have like the feeling it's just like one character that could be potentially come into play, and then it's getting removed, and then it's like, okay, if we're starting off with another Off You Go. So goodbye to that. But I would say with our fan that there maybe still would be another character in hand. Would be funny if there were like not any character left, and it's actually the Alvera, and it's just like getting anchored. Okay, so getting all
that is
in.
nice. And I wouldn't expect there to be a third Off You Go. I haven't checked the Discord, but in the Discord at least there's no Off You Go yet, so there's definitely potential. But you do see that Mage Dancer here come out, so I'd expect to see and there is a Beauty sleeping the
Yes.
Tinkerbell, so the Fan is taking this game.
That's crazy. And also getting like an additional magical training. Nice to see. So GG to our Afanas, and maybe now? Maybe now.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
It's at 100%, so
it should be guys. No, one game missing. Where's the game?
Yeah, it's table 17.
Table 17. Oh, Capado against Julian. Okay. So, Capado. I know, it's a hard decision, like the last game, but please, Royla, just play. Yes. Yeah, good one.
And there, the Asia is taking the game.
Yeah, Tisha is taking the game, so congrats on Capalo for winning that with Tisha. Amazing card. And okay, there would be like maybe a small potential at some point, maybe. But yeah, GG. GG guys, you're at the last table, so please pass. Please.
We gotta wait for them chatting, so yeah. Already in on the chat, and no, still playing clubs.
I don't believe that. Oh man, yeah, okay. GG Capado. I don't know what you are doing in this morning. I need to go to wake up at 6, so please finish it. Please.
We're just keeping Pandy hostage at this point.
Yeah, it's like a running gag.
There is finally the pass. So
finally the pass.
Mada's taking this
I'm
one.
like, okay, guys, chat. It's completely okay. But please. But anyway, we came to an end, and at the end there were 66 players actually still playing, 67 players still playing on the tournament, and we got a actual winner. So GG to DSL who taking the first place on the A.W.O.L. Also GG to BP Turtles for taking the second place, and in general for the top 8. And it's actually until place 7 that everyone else from place 2 to 7 only got like 1 lose, actually.
Yeah.
That's quite impressive for like a 7-round run. So template, GG to you. Also to ATP Applejohn, after you Victor Mada, Auto Red Aces Valenzen, and Cherokee CCG, and also Sawaki for reaching with 570 top 8. And for the top 16 until then, we had Ted Mackie Wallace, Scoopy 7, Mouse, this Nico, Tuffly Mac. I named it, I don't actually saw before. Techi Macho, also a name that I don't know. Heavy-Low, I know, and Epsilon. So congrats to all. And until place 23, everyone was finishing with 5-7. That's an amazing, I would say, like amazing stats for the tournament. So yeah. As you can see, even like with less players, still 7 rounds would be possible. I would say they were also like quite fast today. Maybe I had like a general feeling about that.
It just felt like I think it wasn't actually fast, but
yeah.
Maybe like, it's just because we weren't talking as much about the games and we're just chatting a bit more than usual.
Yeah,
felt fast.
I would say maybe it's because of the time zone change that we got, like the time change. It's like 1 hour further, so it would be like just like at 9 right now. And I'm like, everything is like running so fast. That's crazy. But yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much again for joining in the stream. Was nice to have you there. So we saw like an amazing tournament again. And I would say for the upcoming days, the tournaments that you could take a look if you're not being able to play for today, would be let's see, would be the NUC No Unique Championship. So it's actually crazy because someone on the AMA was asking if there could be like a No Unique format to Equinox. And then they were like, yeah, there's actually a whole tournament that's getting run for free. Hey, isn't that amazing? So take a look on that. It's an amazing tournament. Maybe I've also get the chance to take a look on that. And the stream will be hosted on the channel of Freeloader on Twitch TV, if I'm correct, if it's still being on his channel. And otherwise, it will be, of course, the AQZ Championship Week 9, where you actually can progress with your Adventure Pass, thanks to our sponsor. And also important because I've collected some promo boosters or got some. So as an additional of actually winning like prizes in general, as the first place, you're actually getting a promo booster. Unscanned, of course. Isn't that amazing, guys? Isn't that amazing? And yeah, is there something else that you want to advertise? So that both things I did for now.
I think you forgot there's also on Wednesdays, there's not only
yeah,
the
on
unique
Wednesday,
championships, of course, there's also the A.W.O.L Wednesdays
they
for
were
the
on
Americas.
Wednesday. Yeah, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm not thinking of this American time zones. And yeah, if you want to have like another chance of playing on the Arrow, then you can do it like on Wednesday. For us here in Europe, it will be back again at 1 a.m. So if you want to take your time, you cannot sleep, or there's like something else, then you can join in and something else. I would say you can follow Runefolk, so you can see some awesome Waru and Akisha gameplay. That's
Currently,
like for sure.
I'm streaming mostly Farmers gameplay, so currently on stream I'm trying to get to top 50, I believe it was, or top 100 was the last, but I'm already over to top 100, so I'm going for top 50 next. I'm 53 or something like that.
Oh,
so that's
cool.
not the highest threshold anymore, but yeah, definitely some great Farmers gameplay on my end.
That's cool. And yeah, that when we are staying on Twitch, then yeah, I could also like, did any of you got the AQZ Adventure Press progress from last week's tournament? I've got it. There's sometimes the case that it's taking some time because you need to think about there like over 50 players and you cannot just like check everyone at once. So just wait, but I'm sure that I've got my progression. But I can ask
I think
it.
I also got mine already.
Yeah, so yeah, I've got mine. And yeah, guys, I'm also streaming on Twitch. Maybe we could get like the 200 followers. Usually I'm only streaming the AQC at some point if I'm creating my new setup room, and then I'm being able to stream like even more. So maybe I will stream more than that. But if not, then we will see us back on Thursday. For the hour on Wednesday, it's like Keelan and who else is gonna stream? Maybe that we can also like share.
I think Blue probably, right?
Blue and Keelan. Amazing. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
So here we see them back again. Have a nice evening, guys, and see you maybe next week if one of us is going to be on the cast for Monday. Bye bye.
See you next time. Bye.